Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Will everybody please drink their orange juice? The eggs are just about done.
Shall I put the toast in?
Oh, yes, will you, Aunt Effie? Betsy, you want your egg turned over?
Yes, please.
Now, remember, Daddy, you're going to have to be home here by 11 o'clock if you want to get dressed up.
Mm-hmm. What? What are you talking about?
We're all going to church.
Church?
Well, it's Good Friday.
Oh, well, even so. I mean, we're going Easter Sunday, I thought.
Well, there's a special noon service for the Sunday school children and their parents and families.
Oh, look, I can't get home at noon. I got a very important business appointment for lunch.
Oh, Daddy.
Oh, honey, all the other children will be with their parents.
Oh, Daddy, won't be any fun without you.
Church is not supposed to be fun, Betsy.
I like it, and I think Sunday school is fun, too.
Well, that's fine, dear.
I don't think she ought to think of it as fun.
Well, Aunt Effie, we're very pleased that she likes it, so...
Well, look, I don't see how I can cancel my appointment. I mean, I'd like to go with you all,
It certainly wouldn't do you any harm.
Yes,
And
Aunt
I must
Effie.
say, sometimes I don't understand your attitude. You always went regularly when you were a little boy.
If you give me your plates, I'll put the eggs on.
And frankly, I think you should make more of an effort now to go every Sunday.
Look, we go to church.
You miss. I've been here on Sundays. And in the summer, sometimes you're out there washing the car or mowing the lawn.
Well, those things have to be done. When I'm a working man, I only have so much time. I certainly can't afford to hire a handyman or a gardener.
1 hour off for church isn't much each week, and it would do you a lot of good.
Betsy, I said get your apron now. I don't want you to spill on that dress. Aunt Effie's right, dear. We must make a point of going regularly now that Betsy's in Sunday school especially.
Look, for Pete's sakes, we go to church.
Well, last Easter when we went, Reverend Parker said Merry Christmas to you.
Oh.
Why do you say Merry Christmas, Mommy?
Well, eat your egg now. Come on, hurry up, Betsy.
Well, look, I made this appointment last week. I hate to call a guy and cancel it.
But we're going to dress up, Daddy, and you haven't seen my new coat and hat.
Oh, we're all dressing up. I've got a new Easter bonnet, too.
Oh, and me, too. Please, Daddy, will you?
Oh, well, all right. I'll cancel the appointment and take you 3 beautiful girls to church. Only one thing, though, one thing.
Yes, what?
I want to get there before it starts. I don't want to go trailing down that aisle and have to sit in the first pew after the service has started.
Don't worry. We will be ready.
Come to Beechnut Babyland, and you'll see everywhere beechnut fruits and vegetables grown with loving care. From seed to soil to pickin' time, we perform one feat, to package for your baby the best food he can eat. Come to Beechnut Babyland. What? You've too much else to do? Then get Beechnut at your food store. Babyland will come to you.
And what special goodness it brings. Every food from Beechnut Babyland has the sunny freshness that babies love. Take Beechnut peaches, so juicy, young, and sweet to start with. And then those rosy peaches are very carefully prepared to preserve all the natural flavor baby wants, the natural food nourishment baby needs. Get the best for baby.
Get Beechnut, the most babied food in the world.
He would stop that.
My hat with my new hat.
Well, it must be here, Betsy.
I can't find
Well, it
it
has to be here. Now, just look around.
Well, I'm all ready. Shall I go out and get in the car?
Yes, and for heaven's sakes, tell him to stop sitting on the horn.
What are you doing?
I can't find my hat.
Now, it's here someplace. Aunt Effie, go out and get in the car.
Well,
will
I
you?
thought maybe I could help look for her hat.
Well, all right. Look on the closet shelf.
What are you doing up here? I thought we were going to leave here at 11:30 sharp. Look, you're not even dressed.
I just have to put my suit on. I had to get Betsy ready.
And I can't find my new hat, Daddy.
Put on an old one. You can wear your new one Sunday.
No, I want to wear my new hat. Everybody else is wearing a new hat. Mary Lou and Candy and Jackie.
Will you stop that weeping and wailing? Now, we'll find the hat. It has to be here.
We have got to drive over there. We got to find a place to park the car. The church will be crowded.
Well, I'm all ready.
Fine, Aunt Effie. Go out and get in the car. At least I got one of you.
I thought I'd help look for the hat.
All right. Look for Betsy's hat. And you get dressed.
Yes. All right.
All right. We're all going to be ready. And when I got home, and All we had to do was get in the car.
Come on,
yes.
Betsy. Let's look in the other closet.
I don't know why it is impossible to get my family someplace on time.
Look. Just stop that. Now,
Well,
will you please?
look,
It only takes 5 minutes at the most to drive to the church, doesn't it?
Yes, but it
Couldn't we just once go someplace without everybody yelling at each other?
Oh, all right, I'm sorry, but it makes me nervous.
Please, dear, believe me, I will be ready in exactly 7 minutes. Now, could you try and wait quietly downstairs for me?
7 minutes. Hey, your 7 minutes is up.
I'm all ready, and here I come.
Gloves? Have you got gloves?
Yes, gloves. Yes, I've got
All right,
everything.
okay, let's go. Come on.
Well, aren't you going to say anything?
Oh, hey. Honey, you look marvelous.
You like it?
Oh, honey, that is a beautiful suit. Turn around.
Yeah, save it.
Honey, yeah, very nice.
Doesn't it fit beautifully?
Yes, it does. You didn't tell me you bought a new suit.
Well, I didn't buy it exactly.
Huh?
Did I, Aunt Effie?
No.
I don't get it. Why? What's so funny?
You mean you don't recognize this suit?
Let's go.
Oh, what do you mean?
Get Mother's purse off the desk, Betsy. Doesn't this suit look a little bit familiar, dear?
What? Where did you get it? Yeah, there is something familiar. Wait a minute.
Didn't Mrs. Riddle do a good job?
Wait a minute. Well,
This is the one I had made over.
made over.
Yes.
Made over from what?
Let's go.
Made over from what?
Well, what are you looking so surprised about? I had this made over from your gray check suit.
This was my gray check suit?
Yes, I told you he'd be surprised, Aunt Effie.
Well, you'd never know it was an old suit, and Mrs. Riddle did just a wonderful job.
You had this made over from my gray check suit?
Well, I don't know what you're so surprised about. You're the one who suggested it. You're the one who said I could.
I never.
Well, you certainly did.
Let's go, Daddy.
Just a minute. I want to talk to your mother.
We'll be late to church.
Last fall, when you were putting away your summer suits, and you said the suit was too small for you in the shoulders, and you were tired of it anyway, and I said I'd always been crazy about the material in this suit and wished I could find one just like it, and you said it was too bad they couldn't make over men's suits for women, because if they could, I could have the thing. Now, don't tell me you don't remember saying it, because
This
you
was
did.
my favorite summer suit.
What
My
did you say?
favorite of all the suits I've ever had in my entire life. This one was my favorite. It fitted perfectly. I have never had another suit that fitted the way this one did.
You said I could have it, and when Eleanor told me about this woman who was just marvelous at things like this,
I don't know.
I thought I'd take a chance. She didn't charge much, and I thought I'd just have an extra suit for everyday
just
wear.
can't-
And when I saw how beautifully it turned out...
Let's go.
I think Betsy and I better go out and get in the car.
Yeah,
Come
get
on,
in the
Betsy.
car. I never told you. I never told you
Well,
any
you
such
did.
thing.
Yes, you did.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
you did. I remember distinctly. We were upstairs going through things in the closet.
I said I didn't want my gray flannel suit.
Your gray flannel?
My gray flannel suit.
Check.
I said my gray flannel.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. Well, I don't remember your saying gray flannel.
Flannel.
I don't see how we could have made such a mistake.
Well, look, I didn't make any mistake. I couldn't possibly have said gray check. That's my favorite suit.
It was your favorite suit.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, I don't think you said gray anything. I think you just said gray suit.
Well, for Pete's sake, you should have known what I meant.
I can't read your mind.
Since when? You read it about everything else.
Well, all I can say is I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it now. It is done.
I can't get over it. I just...
Well, dear, it's done.
Yeah, I know it's done. I know I can see it. There it is. I'm sort of in a state of shock at seeing the pants to my favorite suit turn into a skirt. I know I said gray flannel.
You said, and I remember now. My gray suit. Well, since we're going to church and it is Easter time and I was only trying to save money, can't you find it in your heart to forgive me? Well, don't you think we ought to go? It's 10 minutes to 12.
Yeah, come on. One time I thought we'd be on time.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment. What's new? How often do you greet a friend with that question? We're all interested in keeping abreast of the latest news, be it international or local in scope. And there's one sure way of getting complete news reports. accurate reports of the news as it happens. That's by listening regularly to CBS News. CBS News has some of the top reporters and news analysts in the world. Men like Edward R. Murrow, Lowell Thomas, Robert Trout, Charles Collingwood, and Howard K. Smith. Not only are they among the best in the world, they're all over the world, ready and waiting to bring you the news in first-hand accounts from whatever point it may occur. In this country, CBS News has 12 regular correspondents and 21 more stationed abroad. In addition, it has over 400 other news contacts, with men always on the alert to bring you the latest word from all corners of our news-busy world. So when you want the latest, fullest reports on the news, get in the habit of staying with CBS Radio and CBS News.
Let's go in, Mommy. Where's Daddy?
He's parking the car, dear. Oh, Aunt Effie, he's so mad at me.
Oh, well, dear, it was just one of those misunderstandings.
But his favorite suit. I know he just said gray suit. Well, I'm just sick about it.
Well, it looks lovely on you anyhow. It looks brand new.
What's the matter, Mommy?
Oh, Daddy's sort of cross with me. I made over the wrong suit.
Did you tell Daddy you were sorry?
Oh, yes, of course I did. Oh, here he comes.
Okay, let's go in. I see we're the last ones, as usual.
Daddy?
Yes?
You shouldn't be mad at Mommy because she said she was sorry. And in Sunday school, they said we should forgive people when they do something we don't like, if they say they're sorry.
And a little child shall lead them.
Okay, Betsy, I forgive Mommy. I think what made me mad is that she looks even better in the suit than I did.
Come on, Mommy.
What are you doing?
Daddy, come on.
In far too many schools, classes are twice as large as they should be. As a result, teachers can't give enough attention to the needs of each pupil. Double sessions are more the rule than the exception these days, which puts a double burden on overworked teachers. And there aren't enough qualified teachers to go around. These are problems which parents must meet now and seek to improve. Join a group in your community and work actively for more and better schools. The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce, with Margaret Hamilton as Aunt Effie and Francie Myers as Betsy, and is produced by Walter Hart. The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Betsy, what is your mother doing up there?
She's getting dressed and she looks just beautiful.
Well, if she doesn't step on it, there'll be no point in going to the party. I'm telling you, it'll be over before we get there.
You look nice too, Daddy.
Oh, thank you.
Doesn't he, Aunt Effie?
Oh, I should say you look just handsome.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. Frankly, I wish I weren't going out. I'd just as soon stay home and get to bed early.
Oh, my, no, it's New Year's Eve. I wish I were going to a party.
So do I.
Well, we'll have fun together, Betsy. I made us some hot chocolate, and we'll... Oh, my goodness, I left the hot chocolate on the stove.
Can I stay up until midnight, Daddy?
Oh, no, darling, you're too little yet. You go to bed like a good girl.
Can I wear my evening wrap, or is it too cold?
No, you'll be all right. We'll be in the car. Look, hurry up, will you? Come on.
I'm coming.
Oh, Mommy, you look just beautiful.
Thank you, Betsy. Dressed too tight?
Well... Boy, you look like Marilyn Monroe.
Well, I can hardly get the zipper up. I must have gained weight. This will certainly be one of my New Year's resolutions, go on a diet. Well, let's go. Where's Aunt Effie?
She's in the kitchen.
Honestly, I feel kind of guilty leaving her alone on New Year's Eve.
I know.
Maybe we shouldn't go.
Look, she insisted that we accept the invitation.
I know, but she's made all these little remarks about how she wishes she were going out on a party. And frankly, I think Myra should have asked her. She knew Aunt Effie was here. Think I should call Myra now and say something?
Oh, no. Look, we're all ready to go by the time Aunt Effie got dressed anyhow. I don't see how you can do that if Myra didn't ask her to begin with.
No, I suppose not. Well, good night, Betsy.
Have a good time.
Oh, we will, darling. Give Mommy a kiss. Oh, my.
Hey, look out there, Betsy. Don't muss Mommy's hair now. She's spent an hour.
Mommy doesn't mind, does she? No, as long as I'm getting such a nice hug and kiss, huh? Oh, gracious.
I love you.
Oh, I love you too, honey.
Yeah, oh. And Effie, there you are. Now, look, Betsy can stay up a bit longer tonight, but what's the matter?
One of the dogs seems to be sick.
Our dog, Brownie?
No, one of Eleanor's, the little one, Tippy.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
Oh, well, we better look at him, dear, before we go. Come on.
If you have a cold, bronchitis, or the chicken pox, you naturally get to work at once to do something about curing the disease. If the symptoms of some physical illness appear, you try to prevent the illness from getting worse. But far too many of us look upon one of the most serious and most prevalent of illnesses, mental or emotional disturbances, as some sort of a stigma. We're afraid to admit when mental illness occurs in our family and often wait until too late to do something about it. But the rigors of modern living can bring on tensions in any of us, and these tensions can help develop into very serious mental disorders if something isn't done to alleviate them. A great deal of wonderful work is being accomplished in the prevention, treatment, and cure of mental illness. If we treat it just as another form of disease, call in the right people to deal with it, support our local mental health organizations, and accept those who've been cured of mental disorders as we would anyone cured of a physical illness, we'll all be helping to combat and reduce a serious threat to the security and well-being of our nation.
Tippy, what's the matter, little fellow, huh?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with that dog.
Well, he is certainly not acting normal. You know what a lively little thing he is generally, and just to lie there like this so listlessly.
Well, I came out the kitchen here. You know, I remembered a hot chocolate on the stove, and I suddenly looked down, and there was Tippy underneath the table. I called to him, and you know how he always jumps up. Well, he just kept lying there.
Yes.
Tippy, want a cookie? Tippy, want a cookie?
Goodness, Jenna just leaps up when Betsy says that.
No, maybe he's had too many cookies. I should think they'd be good for him anyway.
Oh, no, the dog cookies, dog biscuits.
Huh?
You want a biscuit? Huh, Tippy?
Do you? Oh, honey, there is something wrong with him.
Shall I warm up some milk?
Well, no, I'll do it, Aunt Effie.
Oh, no, dear. You're all dressed up. You don't want to spill on that lovely dress.
Honestly, what do you suppose is the matter with him?
Maybe he's got a virus.
Look, it's 8 o'clock at night. I think he's just sleepy.
Get a dog biscuit out of the box, Betsy, and offer it to him.
You know, we were due with the Pembertons at 8 o'clock.
Do you want to just walk off and leave a sick dog?
Well, for Pete's sake, he probably just ate something that doesn't agree with him. Lots of times Brownie acts that way. Next day he's fine.
Here, Tippy. Here, want a dog biscuit?
Tippy? Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't want it. Look at that. Now, that is not like him at all.
Boy, last week we sat up half the night playing nursemaid to Eleanor's goldfish.
Tropical fish.
Well, all right, tropical goldfish. Fish, anyway, whatever they are.
Well, 2 of them died. Ones we replaced them with aren't exactly the same, and Eleanor's going to be upset about that. I certainly don't want anything to happen to one of her dogs while she's away.
Well, I don't either, but... Boy, you know, I still think it's a lot of nerve to dump all your pets on somebody to take care of. And the Bidens were only going to be gone a week, you know. Yeah. They've been gone 2 weeks already, having themselves a fine time in Florida, while we worry about their fish and their dogs and their parakeets.
Little Tippy. Well, the parakeets are all right, thank goodness.
There. I think this milk is warm enough. It shouldn't be too warm.
Here, Tippy, you want some milk? Oh, generally, he just loves milk.
Well, honey, when a dog doesn't feel well, he's got sense enough not to eat.
Then you admit he doesn't feel well.
Now, look, you two go on to your party, and I'll keep an eye on him.
Yeah, sure. Come on, Aunt Effie will watch him. Let's go.
Well, I don't feel right going to a party, dear, and just leaving him. I just don't.
Well, there isn't anything we can do for him.
Well, I think we had better call a vet.
Call a vet on New Year's Eve?
Well, the dog doesn't know it's New Year's Eve. He didn't pick this time not to feel well. Besides, now that I think back, it seems to me he hasn't been quite as lively as usual the past 2 or 3 days, but I just didn't pay any attention.
He didn't eat his dinner yesterday.
He didn't? Well, it was gone.
Brownie ate it.
Well, for Pete's sake, maybe our dog's been gobbling up Tippy's food, and Tippy's just weak from hunger. Did Brownie push him away?
No, Tippy just looked at his food and walked away, and so Brownie ate it.
Well, I'll call Myra and tell her that we're going to be late, and then we'll call a vet. Now, where did I put Eleanor's list of instructions? She wrote down which doctor their dogs have.
Oh.
You call Myra while I look up the vet.
There he is. A car just drove up.
There's the doctor, Mommy.
Oh. Honestly, what's his name again?
Dr. Gibbons.
Honestly, we don't know anything about him.
What do we have to know about him? He's a vet. Only one we could get hold of. He's nice enough to leave a party.
I know, but I mean, we don't know anything about him. Is he any good? I mean, he doesn't know Tippy or anything.
Well, I just hope he hasn't been partying too much already, so he knows what he's doing.
Look, for Pete's sakes, we got a sick dog, and he's a vet. After 2 hours, we were lucky to get anybody. What do you want to do, charter a plane and fly Tippy out to the Mayo Clinic?
Well, when you have the responsibility of somebody else's dog, you feel you ought to get the best.
Yeah, well, we're trying... Hey, I'll get it. Well, Dr. Gibbons?
That's right.
Well, come in, Doctor. Say, it was very nice of you to come over. This is my wife, Mrs. Piper, and my aunt, Miss Sorensen.
How do you do?
My daughter, Betsy.
How do you do, Dr. Gibbons?
May I take your coat?
Thank you. Well, young lady, you got a sick doggy, huh?
It's not mine.
You know, you might say he's a house guest.
Oh, I see.
Some friends of ours went to Florida and left their 2 dogs with us, and it's Tippy, the little one, that's sick. He hasn't been eating, and he's just lying out there sort of listless.
I see. Well, let's have a look at him.
He's out here in the kitchen.
I'm afraid you'll have to sort of crawl under the table to get at him. We didn't like to move him. He whimpered when we tried.
There he is.
I came out to the kitchen earlier. I'd left some hot chocolate on the stove. Betsy and I were going to celebrate New Year's Eve together and have hot chocolate. And my nephew and his wife here were going to a party at the Pembertons, some neighbors of theirs when they lived in their old house. You see, they just moved into this new house, which we think is just beautiful.
Effie, the doctor really isn't interested in all that about...
Well, I was just trying to tell him how I noticed Tippy was sick.
Is he going to die?
No, we'll hope not.
Hope not.
How long did you say his owners have been gone?
2 weeks so far.
Well, I suspect there's only one thing wrong with Tippy. He's homesick.
What?
Homesick?
Oh, my goodness.
What did I tell you? There's nothing wrong with him. He's just homesick all the time. Oh, boy, I tell you, we were so worried. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Gibbons, for coming over. I'm sorry it was sort of a wild goose chase. All right, honey, come on. Get your evening wrap. Let's get going. Boy, we were due at a party ourselves ages ago.
Now, just a moment, Mr. Piper. It's not a trivial thing for a dog to be homesick.
Well, no, I suppose not, really, but...
Not at all. And frankly, I don't want to dismiss this lightly without confirming my diagnosis. Where does Tippy live?
Oh, the Beitners live on Juniper Street, but I don't know when they'll be back.
I suggest you drive him over there. See if he perks up once he's back home. Once he knows his home is still there.
Well, we have the keys to their house. We can even get in.
Yeah, well, that's probably not a bad idea. We'll do that tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I suggest, Mr. Piper, you do it tonight.
Tonight? This is New Year's Eve. We're supposed to be at a party. You mean drive him over there now?
Well, if the doctor was nice enough to leave a party to come and see Tippy, it seems to me the least we can do, dear, is to take his advice.
Yes, my goodness, if you have any love for animals.
Look, I love animals as much as the next guy, but if he's just homesick, for Pete's sake...
Have you ever been homesick, Mr. Piper?
Well, I suppose when I was a kid,
That empty, lonesome feeling that you've been deserted? That you'll never see your home again? That nobody loves you?
Oh, the poor little thing.
My poor Tippy.
Oh, Mommy, the poor little doggy.
Look,
Why is the dog man's best friend? Because he, too, experiences the same desolation of the human heart. Who but a dog, Mr. Piper, will love you though the whole world be against you?
Look, I love dogs. Let that be established. I just... All right. Let's get him in a car. Come on, drive him over.
You have the number where I'll be.
Yes.
Call me and let me know what happens.
Yes. Yes. Well, could you call Dr. Gibbons to the phone, please? It's Mrs. Piper. He's expecting me to call. Thank you. Yes. Oh, listen to him. So happy to be in his own home, racing around upstairs there, barking. He's so happy now.
He's a lot happier than I am. This is, without doubt, the nuttiest way to spend a New Year's Eve, lugging a dog over to this freezing cold house so he can chase around barking. We'll probably get pneumonia.
Well, we'll leave as soon as I talk to Dr. Gibbons. Oh, he loves dogs, doesn't he?
Yeah, he loves to collect a little extra money, charging me $10 to tell me Eleanor's dog is homesick.
Be quiet. Hello? Dr. Gibbons, we finally got over here to the Beitners. We had misplaced their house keys. But as soon as we got here, Tippy went wild with happiness. Yeah, so he's barking upstairs. Uh-huh. Yeah, do what?
Tippy? Tippy?
Uh-huh.
Come on down, boy. Come on. We gotta get back now. Come on. Come on, boy.
Turn on the radio. Turn on the radio. Dr. Gibbons says it's almost midnight.
Oh, for Pete's sake, midnight?
Yes. Yes, but I'll ask him, Dr. Gibbons. He wonders if we could stay overnight here. What do you think?
Stay overnight?
Well, I could go back home and get our toothbrushes and night things.
Stay overnight? Why?
Well, he says dogs have died of homesickness.
What?
And he says if Tippy is so happy now that rather than tear him away again so soon, it would be better, if he spent a night in his own house. But, with people with us.
Turn
the radio up, darling. Well, what do you say?
I can think of a lot of things to say, but I'm only going to say one of them. Happy New Year, sweetheart. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, dear. Turn up the thermostat.
From city dweller to farmer, Americans know that they are part of the world and close to it. And the more they can find out about it, the better. That's why the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas are so popular. Each of these internationally known newsmen has a wide background in the history, the politics, the economics on which current events are built. Whether you're interested in high-level affairs of state abroad, economic developments here at home, or the latest advances of science, you'll find them presented clearly and understandably by Murrow and Thomas. If you're not already addicted to the news as CBS Radio presents it nightly, start this week to follow the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas. They're both heard Mondays through Fridays on most of these same stations. And now here are the stars of our show speaking for Glamourine.
I stopped in the lobby for a mail. Seems to be a letter here from your mother.
Oh.
Postcard from Helen.
Here, quit reading my mail. Give me that, you.
I always read other people's postcards.
Oh, honestly. Oh, Helen says Bill painted the garage. Bobby has chicken pox. Oh, listen, remember we took her some Glamourine when we stopped to see her?
Yeah?
Well, she just can't get over it. She used it for her spring cleaning, and she says her rugs never looked better. The dirt just vanished.
Oh, just the way we said it would, huh?
Oh, she said the minute Bill saw it, the Glamourine vanished.
What?
She says you bragged so much about cleaning our car upholstery with Glamourine.
Yeah?
That Bill grabbed it and used it for their car. She says, I went right out and bought the giant 98-cent pint free with the giant quart. Couldn't believe I got both for $1.89.
Well, I can believe she got them both for $1.89, but I can't believe she got all that on a postcard.
You, too, can make your rugs and upholstery bright as new with Glamourine's spring cleaning offer. The giant 98-cent pint free with the giant quart. Both for the price of the quart alone, only $1.89. Get yours today while the supply lasts.
Come on.
Just a minute, I've got to find my hat.
Darling, you don't need a hat. It's a beautiful day.
I have to wear a hat. It doesn't seem right not to wear one. Wouldn't go to a funeral without one.
Well, we're not going to a funeral. The lawyer's just reading a will.
Well, I need a hat. Oh, here it is.
Will of a second cousin you didn't even remember and who died last year.
Well,
So, frankly, I don't know why we
I'm ready. Come on now. Is Betsy with Aunt Effie?
Look, let it go. Come on. Now, we are due there at 9 o'clock sharp.
I can't let a phone just ring. I've no sense. Hello?
Well, we'll be late. We always are to everything. I never knew
It's long to... Hello? Yes, well, for goodness sakes, Aunt Mary.
Oh, look, tell her we don't know anything yet. We'll call her back.
Well, how are you? Well, we're just on our way to the lawyer's now, Aunt Mary.
Yeah.
No, we don't know what Larissa's will says at all. Yeah, well, we've been in Boston a week, but this is the first... Uh-huh. What? Oh,
Honey,
I'm sorry to hear that.
What?
Oh, honestly.
What happened? What's the matter now?
Yes, a windstorm blew a big branch right off that lovely old walnut tree in the front yard.
Oh, for Pete's sake. We are due there at 9 o'clock. It is now 10 minutes to 9.
Yeah.
Tell her we'll call her back tonight when we know something.
Oh, sure.
Honey, what is she going on about?
The old China turkey platter that she claims Larissa made off with, 25 years ago.
What is she on that again? Look, tell her we haven't been to Larissa's house. We don't know where the platter is. We'll let her know.
We'll call you back tonight. We know more about everything.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, I'll ask about the turkey platter.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Aunt
Mary.
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
Now, wait a minute.
What are you doing now?
This won't take me a second. Just a second.
What are you making the bed for? That's what maids are for in a hotel. You're in a hotel.
I never know what to do about making my bed in a hotel. I never know whether to make it so the maid thinks I'm a good housekeeper or whether to leave it so she thinks I'm used to having a maid.
Will you tell me what you care about what she thinks? Come on.
Spring clean with Glamourine Liquid Rug and Upholstery Cleaner. Remember, while the supply lasts, the giant 98-cent pint is yours free with the giant quart. Both for the price of the quart alone, only $1.89. More than enough Glamourine liquid to make all the rugs and upholstery in the average home professionally bright and clean again. Remember, more women buy Glamourine and then buy it again than all other rug and upholstery cleaners combined. So get your Glamourine in the giant quart pint combination today, both for only $1.89.
And this is Mr. Cyrus Sprague, who represents Chaucer College.
How do you do?
I asked Mr. Sprague to be with us at the reading of the will for reasons that will shortly become apparent.
You mean my cousin left her estate to a college instead of to a relative?
Dear, please, now let Mr. Cole...
Rather than answer your question directly, I think it would be better if I proceed with the reading of the will after a brief summary of the situation since the death of Mrs. Cummins, which occurred in August 6, 1957.
Oh, it's Mother's birthday. I'm sorry. Go on, Mr. Cole.
The deceased was known to have inherited a sizable fortune, we might say, from her husband. Yet after her death, no will was found. She was known to be quite a recluse, seldom venturing out of her house, which was subsequently discovered to be in a rather, shall I say, deplorable state.
Well, I know you told us about the 14-player piano she'd collected and the newspapers and the rubbish all over the house, Mr. Cole, and I can't tell you how sorry I am. The family feels terrible about it. Because I can assure you everybody else in the family is an excellent housekeeper. If anything, we're all too fussy.
Dear,
I know
Mr.
that.
Cole is simply stating the facts.
I don't want him to think we're all terrible housekeepers in the family.
Darling, he's not taking
spring
sides or criticizing. He's merely bringing us up to date.
No, I just don't...
Yes, exactly. In the months that followed, the contents of the house were examined.
Did they find a lovely old china turkey platter?
I mean, there's time enough.
I think perhaps I'd better proceed directly with the reading of what has now been authenticated, the last will and testament of the deceased. I, Larissa May Cummins, being of sound and a disposing mind and memory, do hereby make, publish, and declare this as my last will and testament. In witness whereof, I have hereunto subscribed my name this 25th day of April in the year 1955. Well, there you are.
What? That is incredible.
I don't think I even understood it, all that legal language.
Well, now, wait a minute. What she did, now, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Cole. She left her house and 15 acres of land and 27 cats to her remaining relative or relatives who would live in this house and take care of the 27 cats.
I thought Mr. Cole said she left $500,000.
That is correct. Your husband omitted the money.
Look, I wouldn't live anywhere and take care of 27 cats for $500 million. What's the matter with this woman?
Well, now, wait a minute, dear. Do I understand correctly that if none of the relatives wish to do this, that everything goes to the college that Mr. Sprague here represents?
That is correct, providing Chaucer College cares for the 27 cats lovingly and tenderly until their natural death.
Well, it looks to me, Mr. Sprague, as though Chaucer College just got itself a hunk of property plus 27 cats.
Well, now, just a minute. If there are 8 relatives to be considered, dear, well, somebody might want to do it, you know.
Look here,
I'm one of the heirs here. I don't like the way you just go handing it to Mr. Sprague.
Oh, Mr. Sprague merely represents the interests of the college.
What's the matter with you?
Well, $500,000 is $500,000.
Look, you're going to move to Boston and live in this ramshackle house? Take care of 27 cats?
$500,000 is $500,000.
May I say something?
Yes, I wish you would, Mr. Sprague. You haven't said anything so far. I wish you'd say something to get my wife out of dreamland here.
Mr. Cole did not mention that there was another will that was uncovered, dated previously to this one. In that, Mrs. Cummins left everything to Chaucer College, which we feel indicates her true wishes and desires. This later will was, perhaps we feel, prompted by some, let us say, human feeling for revenge. Or perhaps it merely represented a humorous side of her character.
What do you mean, revenge?
He means that Larissa was mad at the family anyhow.
She's the one who stole the turkey platter when Grandfather died, and it should have been Aunt Mary's. And that's why nobody spoke to her for 25 years. She didn't speak to them either.
Exactly. That's why I say...
Just a minute, Mr. Sprague. Now, look, if I may interrupt. Mr. Sprague is trying to say that Larissa was just getting back at the family by dangling $500,000 at him. Same time they had to move here and take care of the cats together.
I know what he was saying. I know what he is saying. His college wants to do us out of the estate.
Well, now, I wouldn't put it that way.
Well, what way would you put it, Mr. Sprague?
Honey.
Well, $500,000 is $500,000.
Of course it is. Of course it is. But divided up among a group of people, it is not $500,000. However, let us look at it this way. With the additional 15 acres of the estate, which adjoins Chaucer College, we would be able to erect a fine new auditorium, subsidized by the bequest. Think of it, an auditorium, where the fine, eager, brilliant, grasping minds of our students, our American youth, will be able to hear the finest music, the great speakers of our day. We owe it to our young people to give them every possible advantage. We must all make sacrifices for the next generation, which will be governing our country. Now, let me put it this way. Take care of the young in your nest, and they'll come home to roost.
Well, let me put it this way, Mr. Sprague. You are counting your chickens before they are hatched.
Can say is it's just all too exciting for words. $500,000.
And a house and 15 acres of land, Aunt Effie.
And 27 cats. You keep forgetting the cats.
I don't know what's the matter with you.
I don't know what's the matter with you.
Couldn't you see that Mr. Sprague was trying to persuade me to persuade all the heirs to the estate to renounce our claims and make a grand gesture of letting the college get it?
Yes, and what else can you do? Now, we went over the list of relatives. They are either too sick, they're too old, or too far away, or too something. There wasn't one that we thought could or would move into Larissa's house and take care of any 27 cats.
Well, I like cats, but I must say, 27 does seem like too much of a good thing. However, for $500,000, you could put up with an awful lot.
Whoever does it, Aunt Effie's got to completely pull up stakes and live in that house until the last one of those cats has died a natural death.
Oh, my goodness, sounds like something you'd read in a story.
Boy, you'll pardon my speaking of your family, dear, but that cousin Larissa sounds like a real crackpot.
That's a lot of money.
You'd pay inheritance tax on it, don't forget. You couldn't live in that house of hers without fixing it up, and... Look, a person would be an idiot to do even...
$500,000 is a lot of money.
How long do cats live?
We had one at home that lived 18 years, but that's unusual. Anywhere from 5 to 10, I'd say ordinarily, and cats are not a lot of work.
No,
of course, you've got to feed them, but they keep themselves clean.
Yeah. And they're fun to play with.
Where did you come from?
Under the bed.
Look, you get out from there, will you, now?
Oh, Mommy, please, it would be just wonderful to have 27 cats.
Well, Mother's thinking about it, dear.
Thinking about it?
$500,000 is a lot of money.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment.
Why does beechnut applesauce taste so extra grand? Because apples get such loving care in beechnut babyland. The apples there grow red and ripe and juicy sweet, it's true. Picked when they're full of vitamins and luscious flavor, too. The apples then are washed and cooked and strained with so much haste that beechnut applesauce preserves a special sun-fresh taste. Yes, in Babyland, each wholesome food is deliciously top grade. It has to be the best when it's for Beechnut's carriage trade.
That's right. Every food from Beechnut Babyland is extra special good, like beechnut applesauce, just brimming with good food nourishment and the sunny flavor babies love. Enjoy the special goodness of Babyland.
Get Beechnut, the most babied foods in the world.
Put your things in the suitcase. Come on, hurry up.
I should think it would be far better to stay one more day and...
We are going home now, this minute. Look, I've been down to the desk. I paid the bill. I told the bell captain to send the boy up for the bags in exactly 15 minutes. That was 12 minutes ago, so you got 3 minutes left.
I cannot pack a suitcase rushing so frantically. Don't I? You are ramming
everything
up. I'm just not going to get...
Well, I'm all ready to leave. Goodness knows I just threw things in the suitcase. Why all this mad rush?
We are
suddenly?
going home. Now, Betsy, don't forget your doll, honey.
I don't know why you should get so excited. I didn't even imply that we should pull up stakes and move here to Boston. All I said was we should at least give it some thought. I mean, it's
Look,
not...
I don't need to think twice about spending the best years of my life playing nursemaid to a bunch of mangy cats. And if you want to, you'd better get yourself another husband. Only make sure he's not marrying you for your money.
Thank you. I think I could still catch a husband without having to have money.
I will never take care of 27
Dear money. I can just see this is going to cause a lot of trouble.
The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce, with Margaret Hamilton, Francie Myers, Raymond Bramley, and John Boroff, and is produced by Walter Hart.
The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce. Even if you brush in a rush, new Brisk toothpaste starts instant action against tooth decay.
Brisk helps protect you from decay, starts instant action right away. Even if you brush in a rush, Brisk fluoride toothpaste.
The instant it touches your teeth, Brisk toothpaste starts to destroy most bacteria that cause tooth decay and mouth odor. So even if you brush in a rush, use Brisk, B-R-I-S-K, new Brisk toothpaste.
Doing now? Come on, I ditched the oatmeal.
Oh, Daddy.
Yeah, we're coming. Well, good morning, Mommy.
Good morning, dear.
Ask her, Daddy. Ask her right now.
No, you ask her.
No, Daddy, please, you ask her.
All right. Betsy wants a dog.
Oh. You want a dog, too.
Yeah, I want a dog, too. Look, I got to get downtown. I thought I'd take Betsy with me. We'd stop in at that pet shop.
You mean buy a dog today?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, I'll give you two good reasons. First, I'll be the one who gets all the housebreaking, and it's better to get a puppy in the spring when you can keep him outdoors a lot.
Well, spring is better, that's true, but...
Second, I love dogs, and I want one sometime, but I think, dear, that Betsy is too young to have any feeling of responsibility toward a pet. And I'll be the one who has all the work feeding him, taking him out every half hour,
no,
doing
Mommy, I'm going to feed him and take care of him.
Oh, yes, sure, I'll bet. You eat your breakfast now. We'll think about it.
Whatever you say we'll think about it, that means no.
Well, you eat your breakfast. We are certainly not buying a dog today. That is definite.
Now, look, Daddy's got some reports to finish for the office, sweetie. You run along and play, will you, dear?
Would you talk to Mommy again about the dog?
Now, look, Betsy, Mommy thinks it would be better to get a dog in the summertime.
Why?
Why? Well, because a doggy has to be housebroken.
What's housebroken?
Well, darling, he's got to be trained. A little puppy's like a baby. You know how little babies wear diapers?
Puppies wear diapers?
No, darling, but they don't know any better, and Mommy doesn't want anything to happen to the new dining room rug.
The new puppy can use my bathroom, and I'll give him bath.
Look, sweetie. No, you talk to Mommy. Go on.
I just did. She said no.
Betsy, did you go upstairs and pick up your room?
No.
Well, every morning we have to pick up our clothes and straighten our rooms, don't we?
Mary Lou Kendall doesn't.
Well, I don't care what Mary Lou Kendall does. You're 6.5 and old enough to pick up your own room.
Whenever you want me to do something, I'm old enough. And when I want to do something like have a doggy, then I'm not old enough.
Go on. Run along upstairs.
Oh, golly, look at her. Looks as though she'd lost her last friend.
I don't know why you both act as though I'm the meanest woman in town. You've said yourself, if and when we got a dog, it should be in the summertime.
I know. But she wants one so badly.
And you want to give her everything she wants every time she asks for it. She won't grow up learning the value of anything. Would you lift your feet so I can run the desktop on this?
Yeah.
Goodness knows I have enough to do without stopping every half hour to take a dog out to train him. Besides that, in the snow, he'd probably catch cold.
Look, I talked to Betsy before we came downstairs this morning. She is so crazy to have a dog that I know she'd take care of, and I think it'd be good for her. I really do. She'd learn a sense of responsibility.
Once. She'd feed him just once, and then the novelty'd be worn off.
And who would wind up feeding the dog?
Mother.
Yes, Mother. And taking him to the vet for his shots and his pills. No, dear. This summer, maybe for her birthday in June. Let her look forward to getting a dog. That's half the fun, anyhow, wanting something.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right. Ad in the paper this morning for Irish setters.
Irish setters?
Yeah.
You weren't thinking of getting an Irish setter?
Oh, honey, it's a beautiful dog.
It's a hunting dog. No, we don't want an Irish setter. I think a collie. They're wonderful with children.
Well, they're all right. You like that long, pointed nose?
Well, the good pedigreed collie dogs don't have that terribly pointed nose. How about a French poodle? They're awfully smart and very
no.
cute.
I don't want a poodle for Pete's sake. I mean, that's not a man's dog.
Well, we're not getting it for you. I thought the idea was a dog for Betsy.
Well, yeah, sure.
How about a dachshund? The Hughes have one, and she's marvelous with the children.
Dachshund? What's the matter with you? We want to get a big dog.
We do not want to get a big dog. You'll be playing with the children outside. Big dogs knock them down. Accidentally, of course.
Knock them down. We certainly want a dog that's some protection, as long as we're getting one.
Well, I don't want an Irish setter. The Holberts have one, and
honey, he's a beauty, and he is so affectionate, that dog, and friendly.
Friendly? He's hysterical. He leaps at me as though we were engaged to be married. And you can't sit down without his climbing into your lap, practically. And he drooled all over my blue satin suit.
Oh, honey, he's wonderful.
So mad.
Anyhow, I certainly think we ought to have a big dog. I was even thinking of a Great Dane or a St. Bernard.
To eat us out of house and home. Do you realize what it costs to feed dogs like that?
Well, what do you want, a Mexican hairless?
If and when we get a dog. Oh, look at the dust on this table. I don't know where it all comes
If
from.
and when we get a dog.
If and when we get a dog, we should get one that is probably medium-sized. Very even disposition, good with children, maybe a Cocker Spaniel.
Oh, no, honey, they're too nervous.
No, they're not nervous at all, dear. You're thinking of
I am thinking of a Cocker Spaniel. Look at the one next door. He tears around like a Sputnik.
Well, there's time enough to think about a dog. We'll get some books, we'll read up on them, and then when it comes time to select one, we'll know exactly what we're getting.
We should get a pedigreed dog, I think, even though it's more.
Oh, yes, I agree. I agree.
Golly, look at the time, will you? I'm going downtown. I'd better go. Betsy, come on, honey. Boy, I hope my new suit looks all right.
Oh, is that what you're picking up?
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see it.
It's a little big in the shoulders.
Well, your shoulders are a little narrow, I suppose. Well, they're not too narrow. Oh, men are so sensitive about their shoulders. What do you want to look like, dear? One of these muscle boys dressed in leopard bathing trunks?
Yes.
Well, I love you the way you are. Get your coat on, Betsy, now, if you're going to ride down with Daddy.
Mommy, I picked up all my clothes and put my pencils away.
Well, that's a good girl, dear.
Can I have a doggy now?
No, Betsy. You were a good girl to straighten up your room, but Mommy expects that of you. And someday you will get a dog. Now, your overshoes are in the kitchen. Go out and get them, dear. Go on.
Yeah, she's pretty cute, isn't she?
You think that's cute to try and bribe me?
Oh, bribe. She's just a baby, for heaven's sake. She doesn't know what she's doing.
You are putty in her hands, and she knows it.
Oh, no, I am not.
And when you get downtown and she wheedles you into just going by the pet shop so she can press her little nose sadly against the window, don't weaken.
Oh, listen, she knows we stand together on things, and we've agreed, that's all. A dog for her birthday. And when parents agree on things, I firmly believe they should stand as firm as the Rock of Gibraltar. We won't even go past the pet shop.
Daddy, could we just go past the pet shop?
No, Betsy. Now you know that we made
Just go past, Daddy, please. Pretty please. I know we're not going to buy a doggy today, but I could look at him, couldn't I?
Well...
One day they had some kitties in there, Daddy, and that's what I really want to see, if the kitties are still there.
Oh, well, it isn't out of our way. And if you want to see the kittens in the window, yes, I guess we could do that.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. You're the best daddy in the whole world.
Well, Daddy's got the best little girl in the whole world. Come on.
Daddy, come on in.
Now, wait a minute, dear.
Good morning, sir. Something for the little girl?
Oh, no, thanks. Not today. She just dragged me in to see some kittens you had in the window last week or so.
Oh, yes. Well, they're inside now, right over there.
Oh, Betsy, honey, look there. There they are, over there.
Daddy, look at this puppy. Look at it.
Such a pretty little girl. Ought to have a dog.
Yeah, well, we're thinking of getting one, but not today. You know, we're just window shopping.
Well, here's an Irish setter. He's only about 6 weeks.
Oh, Betsy, hello there, young fella. Oh, boy, look at that tail, would you? Betsy, look at this little fella.
I like this one. Look, Daddy.
Oh, yeah. Hello, boy. Hello.
What kind is this?
Quite a few different kinds, I'm afraid. Frankly, if you're getting a dog, I suggest a good pedigreed dog. In the long run, your training is easier. The dog is more reliable.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, that's good to know. My wife and I both feel we'd want a pedigree
Now,
dog.
here are 3 collies. I just got these.
Oh, Betsy, look at the collies, honey. How much are these?
Well, ordinarily, a good collie runs around $100, $150. But I think if the little girl has her heart set on one of them, we might do it for $75.
Oh, well, that's an awful lot of money.
Well, it's worth it. It's worth it to have a good dog.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, we'll think about it. No rush, you know. Betsy, honey, you like this collie puppy?
No, I like this one.
Well, honey, that's just a mongrel. Mommy and Daddy feel that when we do get you a dog...
Oh, Daddy, look at him. Look at us. Oh, he loves me, Daddy. Look. Oh, Daddy.
And anyhow, he only cost $10.
What does that mean? If we don't like him, we can throw him away?
Oh, look, he is cute. Now, you'll have to admit that.
Well, so far he's been awfully cute on the living room rug, too.
Mommy, please love my doggie. Please, Mommy, look, he loves you.
All right, I know when I'm licked. Hello there. Hello there. Oh, you are so sweet. Come on, look at that.
Well, there you are, Betsy. There's your doggie.
Cutie.
Now I got to finish these reports. Got to get them in the mail today.
Oh, where's my new ice skates, Mommy?
Just, darling, in the hall closet, dear. Why?
When we drove up, Jackie and Candy said I could come over and their Mommy would take us ice skating.
Now, just a minute. You've got a new dog. He has to have a box fixed up for him. He has to have a blanket. Got to be fed. He has to...
Mommy, I want to go ice skating.
Oh, darling, it's the first chance she's had to use her new skates. Paper says warmer tomorrow, and the ice will melt.
Well, all right, run along.
Spend some time with the interesting people who come your way each day on CBS Radio. They'll keep you company while you work, with no thought of interrupting you ever. With music, humor, drama, and news, CBS Radio personalities bring the outside world to you wherever you happen to be. Behind the wheel of your car, or moving from one room of the house to the other, you can still keep in touch with them and laugh at their jokes, hum their tunes, or follow their engrossing day-to-day stories. As a matter of fact, if you listen to CBS Radio while you work, you'll soon discover that chores get done faster just because you're having a good time. Today and any day, while you work, enjoy the world of entertainment CBS Radio offers. Remember, CBS Radio is no further away than your radio. And in these days of inexpensive table models and attractive portables, that's not very far away at all.
Are you awake?
Yes,
It's 2:30.
I know it.
Oh, he's so lonesome. Why don't you go down and get him?
Down and get it. For Pete's sakes, we have got to train a dog from the very beginning.
And it just breaks my heart to hear him whimpering. He's away from his family and his friends all by himself in the kitchen.
Yeah, I know. But if you give in...
Poor little thing.
Now, look, honey, the first night is always the worst. If we leave him alone and he knows that's where he stays at night, then we won't have any trouble with him in the future.
I know. Listen to him. Maybe he's sick.
He is not sick.
Maybe he's gotten out of the box and he's gotten his little paw caught in something.
Oh, for Pete's sake, what would he catch his paw in?
Well, maybe he's caught his head in the radiator or something and he's choking to death.
Look, he couldn't bark if he were choking to death. Look, I don't understand you. You didn't want a dog. Now you lie awake all night worrying about him. Who's the softy?
Me.
Yeah, now go to sleep. Every family goes through this with a new dog.
Do weeknights find you trapped in the doldrums looking for a way out? Then throw aside that compass and let your sense of humor lead you straight to CBS Radio's Amos and Andy Music Hall. With all of Amos and Andy's mischievous friends on hand to entertain you 5 nights a week, and with celebrated guest stars dropping by to add to the fun, boredom takes it on the chin while you sit back and have a ball. Tonight and every Monday through Friday night, tune in our Amos and Andy Music Hall. And remember, it's yours for the listening on Saturdays in the daytime, too, over most of these same stations.
a lodge meeting.
Oh, dear, I didn't realize you were going so soon.
Well, I'd have left before, but I can't find my other glove.
Oh, well, never mind.
What?
No, it's all right, dear.
What? You want me to do something?
Well, I was over at Jansen's, and Paul Jr. was having trouble with his arithmetic. Neither Paul nor Ruth could do them, so I said, let me take the book home. My husband is brilliant at things like this.
Well.
I just thought if you could look at the problems and see if you could figure out how to do them.
What do you mean if I could figure out how to do them?
Now, look, run along. I forgot your lodge meeting.
No. I don't have to leave for a minute or so. Where are the problems, darling? I'll be glad to help out.
Well, there's quite a few. You better take off your coat.
No, darling. Just find the book. I'll have them done in no time at all. I must say, if there's one thing I was pretty darn good at in school, it was arithmetic.
Whatever you're doing, be it reading, working, motoring, or just plain relaxing, it's more pleasant to do it to music. The music that comes to you on CBS Radio's Sunday music programs. This Sunday, you can hear Leonard Bernstein conducting the New York Philharmonic in some new and some familiar works. One of the latter, Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto, will feature the renowned Misha Elman as soloist. Another fine violinist, Joseph Fuchs, will be heard in a solo spot with Michel Piastro and the Symphonette. CBS Radio's The Best in Music will offer a full hour of popular favorites from stage and screen. Guest stars on this sparkling program will include Dorothy Collins and Steve Lawrence. Dick Haymes will sing in the new show called For You, and the musical ministrations of Dick, Maureen Bailey, and Dorian and his orchestra are planned exclusively for your listening pleasure. You'll also want to hear the irresistible rhythms of Vincent Lopez and his orchestra and Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians. Remember then, whatever you're doing, do it to music Sundays on CBS Radio.
Arithmetic book. I'm sorry to keep you waiting, dear. I knew I had it.
That's okay, now. Which ones are they?
Well, there's different problems starting on page 48. Different pages. They're marked.
Okay, I'll tell you what, honey. While I'm doing this, will you look for my other glove?
Now, you sure you have time to do these?
Oh, yes, sure, darling. Just let me get some paper and pencil.
I'll get it for you. Sit at the desk, darling. Here's paper, pencil. You better take off your coat.
No, darling. This won't take but a couple of minutes. Look, I got to leave right away anyhow. An election of officers at the lodge meeting
tonight.
Well,
it's nice of you to take the time to look over Paul Jr.'s arithmetic. I know Ruth will appreciate it.
Okay, honey. Now just...
Well, you know,
darling, just keep quiet, huh? While I concentrate.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, dear.
Then I can just whip through these.
Yeah,
now,
sure.
Let's see. A boy who lives 5 miles from his school walks partway at 4 miles per hour, and then waits 6 minutes for a school bus at a certain crossroads. The bus runs 20 miles per hour, but speeds up to 30 after 5 minutes. If the boy starts at 8:25 a.m. and reaches the school at 8:58 a.m., how far does he ride in the bus? How far does he ride in the bus?
I can't find your other glove, dear.
Is Paul Jr. going to college now?
College? Heavens, no. He's a sophomore in high school.
Sophomore?
Yes.
I don't remember having this stuff in high school.
Oh, are they hard?
Oh, no. It's just find my glove, will you?
Yes. I'm looking for it, dear.
Reaches his school at 8:58. How far does he ride in the bus? Well, I'll come back to this one later.
Your glove isn't on the closet shelf. Where do you think you had it last?
When I came home before dinner. Now, let me see. Number 2.
Good heavens. Did you get the answer to the first one already? They couldn't do it at all.
Oh, well, I haven't written it down yet. I've got the answer, more or less in my head, and I just...
Sure, well, I knew you could do them. You're a smarty.
Yeah, let's see.
Now, look on the floor of the closet. Your glove may have fallen down.
Number 2. At the rate of 3 miles an hour uphill and 4 miles an hour downhill, a man can walk 60 miles in 17 hours. How much of the distance is uphill and how much is downhill? How much of the distance is uphill and how much is downhill? I think I better take off my coat.
I would, dear. You don't want to catch cold and you go out. Here, let me help you. I'll help you, darling.
How much is downhill and how much is uphill?
What, dear?
Nothing. I'm just thinking. That's...
Oh. You should have been a scientist, dear. You really are so smart about things like this.
Number 3.
Gee, you got the second one done already, too?
Well, I'm just glancing through them before I...
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I guess this one, third one.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Man starts from his home to catch a train. And, darling, please, don't. I'm sorry, honey. I just don't read over my shoulder. Please. It's very kind of...
I know it is.
Okay, sweet. Now, a man starts from his home to catch a train, walking at the rate of 1 yard in 1 second, and arrives 2 minutes late. If he had walked at the rate of 4 yards in 3 seconds, he would have arrived 2.5 minutes early. Wait a minute. If he had walked at the rate of 4 yards in 3 seconds, he would have started 2.5 minutes early. How far is his home from the station? Hey, this is algebra.
Of course it's algebra.
Oh.
What did you think it was?
Did you find my other glove?
No, not yet, dear. I'm still looking, though.
You know, these problems are ridiculous. They're not going to do Paul Jr. one bit of good later on in life.
Well, they'll do him a lot of good tomorrow if he hasn't done when he gets to school.
How far is his home from the station?
The answers aren't in the back.
I wasn't... are you looking for my glove?
Yes, I am, dear.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, linear equations. X equals the number of yards. Y equals time. X minus 1 equals X over Y. Now, let's...
Here's your glove.
All right, thank you. X over 3 plus 2 squared. That isn't right. Oh, look at the time.
Darling, forget about them. If you can't do them, it doesn't.
Can't do them because I can do them. It's just that if I'd known about it earlier, these are not hard. They're just, complicated.
It's
I'm
funny
not
how
used to
some
them.
people just have minds like that, isn't it? And other people don't. I know that with me, I just never could
Honey,
do
I
it.
won't get anything done if you're going to talk.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
All right,
It's all right, darling. If he had walked at the rate of 4 yards in 3 seconds, he would have started 2.5 minutes early. How far is his home? X equals the rate of speed.
I'll get it, dear. I'll get it. Hello? Yes, I know he's a little late, George, but he does intend to come to the lodge meeting. There, will you hold on just a second? Dear?
Hey, what?
It's George Bailey. The lodge meeting has started.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'll be there. Tell him I'm tied up, important business.
George, he's rather tied up with some important business, but he'll be there. Okay. Goodbye, George. Why don't you go on down to the meeting, dear?
Look, did you or did you not ask me to do these problems?
Yes, I did, but why do you get so cross just because you can't do a few silly little arithmetic
I am
problems?
not cross, and I most certainly can do them.
Well, I'm sorry I brought them over. What one are you working on?
The third one.
What answer did you get for the first one?
I haven't done it yet.
All right.
Why doesn't Paul Jr. pay attention when he's in class so he knows how to do these?
Well, dear,
A man starts from his home to catch a train, walking at the rate of 1 yard in 1 second, and arrives 2 minutes late. If he had walked at the rate of 4 yards in 3 seconds, he would have arrived 2.5 minutes early. How far is his home from the station? It's got nothing to do with that.
Well, at any rate, there's a man who gets some exercise walking to work. You're always saying you never get any exercise, dear. Maybe if you'd walk to work once in a while instead of taking the car off.
Look.
Well, you're always saying you don't get enough exercise.
That is not the kind of exercise I mean.
What kind do you mean?
Oh, look, I don't know. I certainly don't see any point in walking 2 miles to work when I've got a car.
Abraham Lincoln walked 10 miles just to go to school.
Oh, X over Y. No. He walked 1 yard in 1 second.
Well, of course, I think problems like that are silly. You don't walk the same rate of speed all the time anyhow.
1 yard and...
Makes a big difference with me, I know. I've got on low heels. I walk a lot faster than I do in high heels.
What?
Makes a difference whether you're wearing high heels or low heels.
What does?
Walking.
Well, I don't imagine the man in this problem is wearing high heels.
No, dear, I know, but if his wife were with him, he might have walked slower,
Oh, look at the time here. I'm due at the lodge meeting. I'm
Forget
late.
the arithmetic problems and go. If I'd known you were going to get so cross and upset, it doesn't matter really whether you can do these or not.
Yes, it does. You know how Paul Jansen's always making cracks about my going to college.
Well, I wouldn't let it bother me.
Remember the time I mispronounced something? We were over there?
I can't remember what it was.
Paul just loved that. Remember, he said, "Oh, don't worry. I had time to learn all those things while you were going to college."
Why do you let it bother you?
Look, can you see him if I trot over there and can't even do a few simple algebra problems?
Oh, forget it now. You go on to your lodge meeting, dear. I'm going to run up and see if Betsy is covered.
Yeah, all right, honey, okay. Operator, give me Walnut 2878. Yes, that's right. Hello, George. Look, now, I know this is all going to sound pretty silly, but you're the only guy I can think of who can help me out.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment. Falling off a log may be easy, but it's nowhere near as much fun as listening to CBS Radio's new Peter and Mary show. That's clearly demonstrated whenever you spend time with Peter Lindhays and Mary Healy. In their effortless way, this amiable and accomplished pair move from humor to song and back again with no difficulty whatsoever. And when it comes to playing host to an interesting or talented guest, their friendly informality puts even the most celebrated people at their ease. Join Peter and Mary on most of these same stations each weekday. Meet their friends. Enjoy their refreshing songs. No need to dress up. Just come as you are, wherever you are, when CBS Radio's delightful new Peter and Mary show comes your way every weekday. What could be easier? What could be as much fun as that?
No, George. The man walks 1 yard a second and arrives 2 minutes late. If he had walked 4 yards in 3 seconds, he'd have been 2.5 minutes early. How far is this house from the station? No, I am not down in Joe's Tavern. I'm home. It's arithmetic, algebra. Look, George, you're going to be home tonight. Well, can I drop by and leave the problem and pick him up after a lodge meeting? Yeah, well, I said to myself, I'll call George Clampy. He's the only one who can...
George Clampy?
Oh, goodbye, George. Goodbye. Oh, I didn't hear you come downstairs, darling.
George Clampy, you getting a certified public accountant to do Paul Jr.'s arithmetic?
Yes.
Well, you probably have to pay him.
No, I won't. Even if I do, it'll be worth it. I've got a reputation at stake. Now, where's my... Thought you found my other glove.
Here. It was right on the hall table.
Oh, that's the one I had. Never mind.
Dear,
Here, come in.
right.
Goodbye, darling. I gotta go. I'm a little late now.
You have to go to the lodge meeting?
Certainly I've got to go. I've got to give the treasurer's report.
The treasurer's report? You?
Yes, why... Oh,
honey.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, dear.
Sunday, when most of these same stations bring you suspense, somebody else finds out what it's like to be in a real jam, discovers what a potent force his own fear can be, and stakes his very existence on his ability to control his emotions and use his intelligence. Someday, another human being will live long enough, at least, to tell his tale of suspense. But whether or not he lives longer cannot be determined in advance, and therein lies the... suspense.
I wish you'd put the newspaper down and get up and help me look, dear.
Look for what?
The other letter we got from your mother, the second one. It came last Saturday.
But all the plans she had in that one you said were changed anyhow in the letter you got today.
Yes, dear, they were. But I told you that's the letter that has the list of relatives who will be at the wedding and reunion this Saturday. Now, you know this is your family, not mine. You'd think I was forcing you to go to a reunion of my family where you hardly knew any of my cousins and all that.
Well, it'll be the same thing. I hardly know any of mine anymore anyhow.
And I should think you'd kind of look forward to it. Where is your mother's last letter? It's got the list of relatives who'll be there. You have about 30 clever little poems, dear, to write about each one for the reunion dinner.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
You better get at them. Where is... Oh, here it is. Here it is, the letter. Put on the bookshelf. Now, let's see. Did you look over this list at all? Yes, it
No.
is. Well, there's about 30 relatives and their little comments about each one to give you something to go on. Your cousin Leona won 2 blue ribbons at the county fair with her needlepoint and red cherry pies. Leona's husband, Clarence, works in the bank and recently received a special pin for teaching Sunday school for 18 years without missing a single Sunday.
Oh, now I ask you, how can I write a clever and funny poem about a man who works in a bank and has taught Sunday school for 18 years?
Well, it only has to be about 4 lines, just a little something about each person.
It's just, it's just better, dear, if it's a little funny.
Yeah, sure. Everything's better if it's a little funny. Why my mother ever let me in for a thing like this?
You've always liked writing, and your mother thinks you're clever.
Yeah.
She wants to show you off in front of the family. Nobody expects it to sound like Shakespeare, dear. Just 4 lines that rhyme,
Look, just 4 lines that rhyme with 30 people to do it for. It takes a fair amount of time to do it.
I know it, and this is Monday. We're due there this weekend, and you can't write them driving up in the car, so start thinking, dear.
Oh, golly. Well, I guess I'm in for it. Now, let's see.
Paris, European capital of fashion and femininity, where women are dedicated to being desirable and appealing.
Paris, where the preferred deodorant among knowing women is new Odorono. Parisians have discovered that wonderful new Odorono forms a gentle, firm shield against odor-causing perspiration, gives you a clean, fresh feeling all day long. Odorono babies the skin, so mild it can't harm the finest fabrics.
And now, important news. To introduce you to Paris's favorite deodorant, new Odorono is being offered at just half price. For a limited time only, save 50 cents on the $1 jar of Odorono cream. Or get new Odorono spray, also at half price. Look for the Odorono half price offer wherever deodorants are sold.
Funny about a man who works in a bank and has taught Sunday school for 18 years without missing a Sunday.
Look, if you're stuck on that one, why don't you try someone else on the list? Here's your Aunt Sarah. Now, she's your great aunt, apparently. She's 83 and has a 100-year-old cactus plant that practically fills her living room. Your mother
what?
Cactus plant. Probably one of those big tubs, I suppose. She still does her own housework and even mows her own lawn. Her son Casper never married and likes to play horseshoes. Well, don't look hopelessly at me, dear. These are the comments your mother wrote after.
All right. Don't go on. I get more discouraged with each one. Let's get paper and pencil and start at the top of the list.
Well, here's a pencil, and I'll get you some paper. While you're doing that, I'll go to the attic and dig out a couple of our baby pictures.
Baby pictures?
Yeah, that's what Bernadine's putting on the place cards. Each one's baby picture.
Thought my clever poems were to go on the place cards.
Oh, no. I tell you, that's been changed. You're to be the toastmaster and get up and read each poem, introducing each relative, and they stand up while you read the poem about them, And this is going to be done at the wedding dinner Saturday night instead of Sunday morning, so that the young bridegroom gets a better idea of his new wife's family or something.
Oh, boy. He's certainly going to get a good idea of what he's in for. The wedding takes place before this gala dinner, doesn't it?
Oh, certainly,
Yeah,
dear.
well, it's just a good thing, that's all. Oh, that poor bridegroom. All right, now let's see. Something funny about a guy who works in a bank and teaches Sunday school every Sunday for 18 years.
Now, dear, the poem doesn't have to be killingly funny, just amusing.
It won't be.
Just amusing so everybody has a good time, Now, I'll go up the attic and look through all our pictures. I also have to find some of when we were children. Bernadine's going to put them around, and I guess everyone is supposed to try and guess who they are, Well, dear, since it's a family reunion at her daughter's wedding, she's trying to have some original ideas.
You know what? I'll bet we play charades and pin the tail on the donkey, too. All right. Run along to the attic. I'll work on the poems. What do you mean I can't say things like that? Like what?
Just because your mother said your cousin plays the ukulele all the time, you cannot say no one ever gets used to Eustace.
Why?
And to say when he plays his ukulele, we all long for a shillelagh. Really,
Well, it's
dear.
the only thing that rhymes with ukulele.
Well, just the same, dear, really. Isn't a shillelagh sort of a club?
Yeah, sure it is. I think it's kind of amusing.
It's amusing to say everybody wants to hit Eustace over the head when he plays his ukulele.
Well...
Look, I know what you're trying to do, but will your family think it's funny? Will Eustace?
All right. I'll admit that poem needs some working on, but listen to this one, will you? Which also needs some polishing, but now listen to this.
Now, what's this about?
This is Clarence.
Clarence,
all right, now.
yeah.
And here is Cousin Clarence, the cleverest cousin of all, who's taught Sunday school spring, summer, winter, and fall. That's why no one has ever guessed, and it never appears, that he's been robbing the bank for 18 years. How about?
Oh, you
got to stop fooling around and wasting time on right things you can use.
What do you mean fooling around? What the Samuel's the matter with that one? You laughed, didn't you? Certainly obvious that I'm just joking.
Well, you don't even know your cousin Leona's husband, Clarence. How do you know he'd know you were joking, huh?
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, now, just don't throw your pencil up in the air.
Look, I might as well give up right now. You can't tell me that if I got up and read that at a family reunion, it wouldn't bring down the house.
Yes, it would. Right down around your ears, probably.
Now...
Supposing Miss Clarence didn't think it was so funny, dear?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Maybe he has been quietly robbing the bank, huh? Helping himself to the petty cash.
No, honestly.
Well,
I didn't mean that at all.
All right, now let's stop worrying about my family. One thing they've all got is a good sense of humor. Now, don't worry. Uncle Harry's the greatest practical joker of all time. Oh, wait, now listen to the other one I wrote here. This is about my cousin Pearl, who talks incessantly, never shuts up. Even Mother said that.
Your mother just said that Pearl was sort of a chatterbox. That's what she put it.
All right. Pearl and her whole family. Now listen here. And here is cousin Pearl in our family cloister. Now it's said that a pearl is found in an oyster. It must really be true, since even her brother is proof that a cherry stone clam was never their mother. Huh?
Look, you cannot write such insulting poetry, dear.
Oh, insulting.
Isn't it insulting to say somebody talks too much, to imply that she never clams up? Just what you're saying. Now, look, if this family reunion turns into a family disunion, your mother is going to be mighty
My mother would think this was funny.
Oh,
she
honey,
would.
she would.
All right, I'll
All
put
right,
through a
Phil,
call
see
to her.
that.
I'll call her right now, and read her what I've done so far.
That is a good idea.
You'll see.
I think you'd better while there's still time.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment.
If you could see how I do the bone in my hair, you'd realize I'm a typical housewife. What makes me that way, dears? I have the happy habit. Every weekday, fun day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, inclusive. CBS Radio's Arthur Godfrey, Art Linkletter, Gary Moore, and the new Bing Crosby, Rosemary Clooney show. Well, Ducky, you listen, and you'll be just as typical as I am. Just between us, girls. Where else in radio are there stars all in a row, like Arthur Godfrey, Art Linkletter, Gary Moore, Bing and Rosie? Oh, don't bother the research scientists, sweetie. I didn't get the happy habit out of thin airwaves. I scouted the field. Field? There's just CBS Radio. Hate as I hate to sound patronizing. But from where I sit, CBS Radio is the only radio network still in showbiz.
Oh, no, Mother. No, Mother. It's about my cousin Pearl. You know Pearl, who chatters incessantly. You said so yourself. Yeah. No, all right. Now listen again, will you? No, just listen to it once. And here is cousin Pearl in our family cloister. Now it's said that a pearl is found in an oyster. It must really be true, since even her brother is proof that a cherry stone clam was never their mother. Oh, Mother. Well, what don't you get?
Why don't you give up?
Cherry stone is a kind of clam, Mother. Clam, and the expression when people don't talk is clamming up. Oh, well, I know Pearl talks too much. That is the point, Mother, and... Oh, look, let it go, Mother. Yes, Mother. All right.
Honey, I told you your family just doesn't understand this kind of humor.
Yes, well, okay. Yes, I will. Goodbye. Oh, Golly, I don't know. My own mother, sometimes I wonder if I understand her at all.
Well, I guess she's wondering the same thing about you. What did she say?
You know what she said? She said I shouldn't try to write deep modern poetry. She did. I should just say something nice about everybody and try to make it funnier. She doesn't know where I got the idea that Clarence robbed the bank. It certainly isn't a bit true. He's as honest as the day is long. So help me.
Well, what I was trying to point out to you, dear, is that it's a kind of humor your family just doesn't understand. You know, this present-day,
pseudo-sophisticated idea of good-natured insults.
Look, we watched that Friars Club dinner or something on television one time, you remember? Honoring
I guess so.
Eddie Cantor or somebody. And people
Ed
like
Sullivan.
George Jessel, all right, and Phil Silvers and Jackie Gleason, I don't know who all, gave speeches and kidded the guest of honor. And he got as big a kick out of it as everybody else. Now, look, if my family...
But your family reunion isn't composed of Eddie Cantor and Phil Silvers and Jackie Gleason
I know,
and all...
I know. And all I'm saying is I think a person should be able to laugh at himself, to be able to take a little joke at his own expense.
Well, dear, all I can say is my own mother always thought Jack Benny and Fred Allen were bitter enemies. She never understood all the good-natured insults at all.
No.
No. And Aunt Effie, who certainly laughs at things, you know, that she saw the Three Stooges one time on TV and she said, "My, I don't see how they can work together when they don't seem to like each other at all that hitting going on."
Oh, no.
She did, huh? Why, one time you said to me, "I can't think how anyone as brilliant as I am married anyone as stupid as you." And your mother lectured you for 15 minutes on being nicer to me. You remember that?
Yeah,
you remember
that? Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, of course. Well, look, I'll try to make each poem sound like a Mother's Day card. Look, we love our Pearl, who is a pearl among pearls, the sweetest and something and nicest of girls.
Well, I think something like that is better, dear.
Yeah.
Now, don't look sick. You've got 30 to do before Friday. Now, just...
The Couple Next Door stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce. The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Mr. Evans? Mr. Evans?
Oh, hello there. Good morning.
Good morning. I thought that was you driving down the lane, but I wasn't sure.
Oh, well, I got a new truck.
Oh.
Well, it's second-hand.
Oh,
but...
it looks nice. I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
Yeah, sure. I'll be right there.
I've got an old chair that I was wondering if you might be interested in.
Well, I might be. Let's have a look at it.
All right, come on in. Well, I haven't seen you go past for some time.
Well, the wife's been sick.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope she's better now.
She's better, all right. Telling me how to do everything, so I guess she's good as new again.
Well, come on in the living room. I'll show you the chair. I don't know if you know that we sold the house and we're planning to move.
No, is that so? Is that so?
Yes. Well, we won't be moving until fall when our new house is ready. We're building out by the lake.
Is that so? Is that so?
Yes, uh-huh. Well, that's the chair.
Oh, yeah.
My husband and I were saying that some of the things we wanted to get rid of, you know, what we didn't want in the new house, you know. Well, you hate to just throw things out if you can get a little something for them.
Uh-huh,
you
sure.
know.
Well, there's not much resale value on used furniture.
No, I know that.
This chair really looks used.
Yes, I know. And it has been.
Well, springs aren't much good.
No, I know. We've had them fixed several times, but you see, it's the kind of a chair that people just flop into.
Well, it's no good for springs.
No.
However, they can be fixed, I guess. Leather's all shot.
Yes, I know the leathering.
All dried up. Look at the back here. Comes right off in your hands.
Well, yes, I know. I have to keep the back of the chair to the wall. Well, I guess it's really not.
I'll give you $12 for it.
It's a deal.
Okay. want me to take it today?
Well, you might just as well as long as you have your truck out here.
Anything else you want to get rid of? I mean, that you want me to look at while I'm here?
Oh, well, now let me think. Oh, hello, dear.
Hi.
Dear, I didn't hear you drive in at all.
Oh, well, I did. Drove right in. Oh, boy, hey, something smells good.
Hot roast.
Mm-hmm, good. Got a kiss for your old man?
Oh, I guess there's one left.
Hey, you smell
your
good, too.
Your nose is cold. Oh, have I got a surprise for you, dear.
Oh, why?
You know how we were talking about selling some of the old things around here that we didn't want in the new house?
Yeah?
Well, to begin with, I sold that awful old chair, and I got $12 for it.
Oh?
Honey, stay out of the pot roast now, will you, darling?
I'm just smelling it, honey. Maybe just take a little taste, huh? A little taste?
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Anyhow, about the chair, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. Yeah, I should say. What chair was that, honey?
Let's do that ugly old leather thing we had in the living room with the springs falling out. What's the matter?
What chair did you say?
What are you doing? Wait a minute. Dear, where are you going? Honey.
Where's my easy chair? Where is it?
Now look here. I just told you.
You couldn't. You couldn't possibly have sold that beautiful leather chair. That was in perfect shape. It was the only comfortable chair in the whole house.
No, I would never have sold a chair like that. I sold a dreadful old leather chair that was worn and shabby with the dried-up leather falling off the back.
You sold that?
With the springs dragging on the bottom practically, and it had stains and spots that would never come out. That's the chair I sold.
You sold it?
Yes, I did. I got $12 for it, and I was almost ashamed to take it.
$12?
We were lucky to get anything.
That chair was worth $1,200.
Oh, now, don't be silly.
I just can't get over the... How could you possibly...
We talked about getting rid of some of the, junk that we have around here.
Junk?
And I thought naturally...
We never discussed getting... Never discussed it at all.
No, I guess we didn't mention this chair in particular.
A chair like that, it's got to be mellowed like a pipe. It takes years to get it just right.
Dear, that chair had sagged and sagged. You should have seen the springs.
The springs were fine.
But they weren't fine at all. They were dragging on the floor. They were. One spring was just dangling on the floor.
We have fixed the springs before they could be fixed again.
We tried to fix them about 20 times before they'd last about 4 days and they'd be out again.
That chair would have lasted another 10 years. 10 years.
Really. Now, just stop making such a fuss. You've often said yourself that chair was no beauty, and I hated it.
That was a comfortable chair. It was the only really comfortable chair in the whole house.
Why, it is not, dear, and besides...
Who'd you sell it to?
The junk man. Now, dear, it...
$12.
Yes, and I was glad to get it.
Do you realize how much that chair cost new?
Well, that's
$350. $350.
It wasn't new when we got it. It was already 10 years old then.
10 years old?
Yes, it was 10 years old. 10 years old when Bill and Nancy Cartwright moved from here to Texas, and Bill stung you $140 and you were idiotic enough to pay it.
Bill did me a favor. He was crazy about this chair. He wanted to take it with him.
Nancy wasn't crazy about it. Looked pretty shabby then, and she was glad to palm it off on us.
Only comfortable chair in the whole house.
Well, that is not true. That chair, that one right there, that is just as comfortable. Go sit in it. Go on. Go sit in that wing back and see how comfortable it is.
No, thank you.
Try it.
I have tried it. I've tried it hundreds of times. That wing back chair is not comfortable. Never has been comfortable. It isn't right for my legs.
What do you mean it isn't right for your legs?
It isn't. I'll show you. When I sit down, it hits me. It hits me under the legs right here.
Where is it supposed to hit you?
Well, right here, under my knees, of course. The seat part is too shallow for my long legs.
Why, you don't have such long legs. All right, you have long legs. Get up. Let me try it. Why, this chair is very comfortable.
I can't get over it. I'm just selling it,
Even your own mother has asked me why we had that ugly thing in our living room.
Never mind.
Even your friends have made jokes about it. Honey, dear, you know it was awful looking.
I don't care how it looked. It was comfortable. Practically every night as I drive home from work dead tired, I think of walking in and flopping in that chair where I could really relax and read the paper.
But you know it looked terrible.
I don't care how it looked. Looks aren't always the important thing.
Well, they're pretty important in the living room. I mean, if you'd had it in the basement or something, where it didn't show.
It never occurred to me that the so-called master of the household, I had to sit by the furnace to read my paper.
Now, you know I didn't mean that.
If there's one thing a man likes, it's an easy, comfortable leather chair. Just
all right,
one little
dear.
thing in life.
All right, dear. I didn't know it meant so much to you. And when we buy things for the new house, we'll try to arrange our budget so you can have a new leather chair for your den.
A new one isn't the same thing.
Well, I don't know what to do about it, dear. I sold the chair, and I'm sorry you're so upset.
Years.
Now, I've got to drive over to Susan Bodine's and get that.
Break your chair in.
Honey, now don't sit on that spindly little straight-back chair. You can't read the paper there.
I'm quite comfortable, thank you.
Please, come here. Come on over here and try this nice chair.
You sold the only nice chair we had around here.
Oh, now, don't be that way.
I am quite cozy, thank you.
Well, you can't be sitting up like a ramrod on that thing. I'd rather you lost your temper and yelled at me instead of acting like this. You acted just like this when I threw out those perfectly dreadful bedroom slippers, too. And the owner said Fred didn't speak to her for a week when she threw out some horrible old sweater. Why do you men want to hang on to stuff when it looks so awful?
I wish to take this opportunity to remind you, and remind myself, that I love you.
Oh, honey.
But I should also like to take this opportunity to inform you that no matter how dearly a man loves his wife, there are times when every married man wishes he'd stayed a bachelor. And this is one of those times.
Come on, Betsy. Come on, darling. Eat your dinner.
I am. Eat your dinner too, Daddy.
Daddy's not very hungry, dear.
Are you sick, Daddy?
No, I'm not sick. I'm all right. I'm just not hungry.
Mommy sold a chair today, and Daddy feels badly about it.
What chair?
That big leather one we had in the living room. You remember?
Oh, yes. That was an awful old chair.
Yes. Well, Daddy didn't think so, dear.
Oh, it was, Daddy. It looked terrible. It was all coming to pieces in the back. And Mary Lou Kendall saw it, and she said, why did we have such a horrible chair?
Yeah, well, dear, none. You needn't glare at Betsy. She can't help what her friends say, but you see, even children notice things.
Oh, I didn't like that leather chair, Daddy. Every time I'd sit in it, it was all cold.
Yeah, well, never mind the chair, Betsy. Now you eat your dinner. In fact, you eat your dinner too, Daddy. I will call Mr. Evans right after dinner and see if he will sell the chair back.
Mary, Mary, quite contrary, wouldn't be so highly inconsistent if she made the Amos and Andy Music Hall a regular listening post. Nor would she be contradictory if she got in on the fun and music of Robert Q. Lewis and Rusty Draper. The trouble with Mary is she's too stubborn to enjoy the good things life offers, even when they're served up to her in style. Judging by the rest of the population, however, Mary is just about unique. Most people know good things when they hear them. That accounts for the enormous popularity of CBS Radio's Amos and Andy, Robert Q. Lewis, and Rusty Draper. The lilting songs and the wealth of good humor on each of these shows account in turn for much of the cheer and evidence all around. Unless pleasure is absolutely the last thing in the world you'll countenance, ignore Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Join us here at CBS Radio instead, where fun lovers hear Amos and Andy, Robert Q. Lewis, and Rusty Draper 5 or 6 times a week on most of these same stations.
Yes, operator, are you sure? Oh, all right, thank you.
You sure you got the right Evans?
Yes, dear, H.T. Evans. I know, on the other side of town, out on Henley Road. Well, I don't know what to do. I called and called. There's no answer. I'll try in the morning again.
Probably resold the chair by this time and made a nice, tidy profit.
Well, I don't think so, darling. You'd have to fix the springs first. Who's that out in front? It's a car, it looks like, stopping here.
Daddy, you said you'd come up and read me a story.
Yeah, sure, okay, honey, I will. What would you like me to read, huh?
Oh, goodness, I wonder who's just dropping in. Oh, good evening.
Are you the lady who got $12 out of my husband for that dilapidated old chair?
Oh, well, you must be Mrs. Evans.
I am indeed, and I'll tell you this much. I won't have that thing in my house. Harry, bring that chair right up here. And furthermore, I want that $12 back.
Oh, no, Mabel.
Now, don't Mabel me.
Hey, for heaven's sakes, what's going on? What's the trouble
Your
here?
wife got $12 out of my husband for this mangy old chair.
What?
Well, I've got real nice furniture in my house, and I won't have this dirty old thing cluttering up my living room.
Well, look here, that's a very nice chair.
I don't have it in my house.
Well,
I told Harry, Mr. Evans, I said, we're dropping that thing right back. Charging anybody $12 for that wreck. Well, it's enough to make you lose your faith in human nature when you see the way some people try to take advantage.
Oh, look, you can have your money back. Bring in my chair. Here, let me help you, Mr. Evans. Here, let me...
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm sorry about this.
No, open the door wider, will you, honey? There we are. Careful now. Don't scratch it. Don't scratch it. Okay. There we are. Bring it right in here. Good.
Come in, Mrs. Evans. I'll get you your $12.
Oh.
There we are.
Thank you. I'm sorry I spoke the way I did.
We got it.
Oh, that's all right.
Well,
I know how you felt.
Put it right down here. Careful. There we are.
Are you going to have that thing in your nice living room?
Yes, I guess I am, Mrs. Evans.
Now, just turn it around. That's it.
Oh, that's a nice chair. They don't make them that way anymore.
Sure hated bringing it back.
Oh, you like it?
Say, that's a chair.
Yeah, it's a beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, but hated bringing it back. I thought I got a real bargain.
Chair's worth $1 million.
It is. I know it gets into women. They get all pepped up about making the place pretty. They don't seem to think about making it comfortable.
Yeah, sit down.
Well,
No, sit in it while you're here. Go ahead. Isn't that something, now? Now, look, lean against the right arm there. Yeah, put your feet on the footstool. Now, you see it kind of sags nicely in one spot there. So if you kind of hunch down a bit like that, you just fit, you know?
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Wonderful.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get that chair really, really mellowed, broken in, you know? You see, what women don't understand is that a chair needs time.
All I can say is, dearie, you have my sympathy.
Thank you, Mrs. Evans.
Hey, wake up. It's going to be a glorious day. Come on, sleepyhead.
Oh, thought you were going to sleep until noon since you didn't have to get up today.
Yeah, well, I thought so, too. But, honey, I woke up at the crack of dawn, and I am as bright as a dollar.
Oh, yes, I can see that. Of course, every other day I have to almost drag you out of bed to get you to work on time.
I know. Suppose I'm getting used to having to roll out early. Honey, look at that sky. Isn't that beautiful? Bet today's going to be a scorcher, too.
That is pretty. Well, you be careful now. If you sit out in the sun, don't overdo it. You always do, you know, every year. And you never learn,
Well,
dear. Never
I
learn.
have to get a good base or I don't tan at all.
No nonsense. It's well known that it's far better to get tan in easy stages.
Yeah, well, all right. Don't worry. We'll see.
You sit out there much too long, and then when I say you're getting burned, you always say, burned? I'm not even pink.
Well,
look at me, not even pink.
Can't tell, really, when you're still in the sun.
I know, that's what I'm saying. After you've been in the house for about an hour, then you begin to look like a boiled shrimp.
Yeah. Well, you might at least say boiled lobster. It's a little more flattering.
Oh, that's what you look like, anyhow.
Boy, honey, think of it. Just think of the millions of people all over the country today, going to the beach, going to the lakes, lying out in the sun, rubbing on suntan oil. Boy, I can just smell suntan lotion.
Probably because it's right under your nose, practically. I got it out last night, put it on the bureau there. Right there.
Oh. Well, yeah, no wonder. It's silly, huh? Well, come on, let's get up and have breakfast on the porch, shall we? Shall I get Betsy and Bobby up?
Oh, no, let them sleep until they wake up.
You know what? I think maybe I'll go for a dip in the lake today.
You will not go for any dip in the lake today.
No,
it
not
is
today.
much too cold yet. Let's not have this every decoration day, dear. You sit in the sun and get broiled, and then you jump in the lake and get frozen. After every decoration day, you have a frightful cold and a dreadful sunburn. Now, please, this year.
Darling, I do not burn. I just get tan.
Oh, all right. Come on, dear, finish your breakfast. Said you wanted more toast.
Yes, I do, honey. I was just looking at the thermometer. Do you know what it is already? 78, darn near 80.
7:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
Well, the thermometer's in the sun, too.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Just as I said earlier, today is going to be a scorcher. Look, let's make it as much of a holiday for you as for the rest of us. Don't bother getting a dinner today at all.
What?
No, let's just picnic down by the lake, sandwiches for lunch, and then I'll grill some hamburgers for supper, huh? How about that? Very simple and easy?
Oh, very simple and easy, huh?
Yeah.
Why? You always say that, dear. And I tell you frankly, by the time I've run up and down 100 times from the house to the lake with a salad and plates and knives and forks and milk and paper cups and heaven knows what else and pickles and
I know what you mean. Look, no, we'll all help, though, honey.
Well, isn't it really simpler to just eat on the porch?
We'll all pitch in.
We're still outdoors in a way, but we don't have the flies and the ants and sand from the beach and everything we eat. And I mean,
honey,
really,
look,
it's just...
The kids like picnics, honey. Betsy does. And Bobby will, too, He's so much more active this summer than he was last summer.
Yes, isn't he? I know.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem possible. He'll be 2
I know.
in July. It just doesn't seem possible.
Yeah, that's true. I know. Anyhow, I'll bet he'll love being on the beach by the lake all day, I'll take that big umbrella down so there'll be some shade. We'll just live in our bathing suits all day.
You want me to butter that piece of toast? It's going to be cold before you get around to it.
No, I'll do it. Oh, I would like some more coffee, though.
Oh, I've been meaning to tell you, I got a little surprise for the kids.
What?
Well,
from the look on your face, I can see it's going to be a surprise to me, too.
Well, now, look, darling, don't hit the ceiling, please.
What now?
It's a boat. It's a lightweight rowboat. A boat, honey. The Betsy can handle herself. It's plastic or fiberglass. Fiberglass, I think, or something. And anyhow, look, she's been wanting one. I promised her one when we were building out here by the lake, remember? Remember, she hated to move from our old house. You remember? And I said to her, Daddy will get you your very own boat. Remember, honey? Well, look, I'll keep an eye on it. You haven't got a thing to worry about. We'll have definite rules, so just stop worrying.
I haven't said one word. I just want you to remember that if our children are spoiled, who is doing it?
Me.
Yes,
I'm doing
you.
it. Look, I'm going to get the kids up so we can all have one long, beautiful day together. Here, Bobby. Bobby. Oh, boy.
Bobby, now stay back from the water, darling. Bobby, no.
No.
And then says no, and then he goes right ahead. Betsy, take his hand and pull him back from the water now,
What a
darling.
guy.
Oh, my sunglasses. I forgot to bring those down, too.
He just wants to wade a little bit, don't you? Just want to get your feet wet. How about it, don't you, son?
When can I go out in my new boat, Daddy?
Well, in a few minutes, honey, as soon as Mommy and I get things organized here. Don't you think we ought to bring down some magazines or something to read?
All right, I've got to go back up the house for my sunglasses anyway.
Oh, bring that suntan lotion, too, will you? No. Here it is. I'm sorry.
Thirsty, Mommy.
Look, how about fixing up a... He's thirsty, too. Bring a big thermos with lemonade.
Yeah.
Want me to do it?
No. You watch the children. I'll go fix the lemonade.
Waiting.
Yes, you're waiting, darling. While I'm doing that, I might as well make sandwiches and bring those down. And then when we're hungry, I won't have to be running back and forth. I think that's a good idea,
Look,
don't you?
just fix the lemonade now so you can get back here and sit in the sun and get some sun yourself, huh?
Bobby.
What?
Come here. Let Mommy rub some suntan lotion on you. Come here, stand still.
Suntan.
Yeah, stand still.
Can I go out in my new boat alone?
No.
Oh, gee, you never let me do anything.
Do you want to go back in the house and go to bed for the rest of the day? Huh?
No.
Well, then don't speak to me like that.
All right, now,
just
girl.
don't
Come
speak to me
on.
like that.
Now, let's not have trouble today. Let's all have a wonderful time. I'll just loll around leisurely like, lying in the sun, going for little rides in the new rowboat.
Stand still, Bobby.
Picnicking. Stand still, son, right here on the beach, you know. We're all going to pitch in and help carry things back and forth so it isn't just Mommy that does all the work, huh?
I can't believe we're going to have a whole day of really doing nothing but lolling around. It seems too good to be true.
Yeah, I know. Remember when we drove out here and looked at this property, honey?
I remember.
It was cold. It was a bleak, windy day, February. I remember that,
No,
too.
later than that, wasn't it?
No, I think it was February.
Was it?
2 years ago, we came out here with that real estate man. I remember standing up there right about where our living room is now. And I said, oh, look at the magnificent view.
I remember. And I said, boy, look at that lake practically at our door, you know.
I know.
Think of how wonderful it's going to be on holidays, especially, I said, yeah. We won't have to go anywhere, you know. We won't have to drive miles to lie on a sandy beach.
I know. Well, you were right, dear.
Yes, sir.
And it certainly is convenient to have our own little private beach, too. It saves a lot of work. It's easier to watch the children. And you don't have to worry about how unattractive and greasy you look as you're trying to get tan, you know? Oh, does it ever fail? I'll get it. I'm going in the house anyway.
Don't forget the lemonade, Mommy.
Oh, darling. Oh, look, honey.
Yes?
I seem to have forgotten my sunglasses, too. Sunglasses?
All right, I'll look for them.
Oh,
Daddy.
boy, this is the life.
Daddy, look out.
Oh, Bobby. Oh, no. Honestly, no. Now, look, don't you do that again, you hear?
Sand.
You sand, but put it in the pail. You don't shovel it in Daddy's face after all.
More, Daddy? More.
No, Daddy doesn't want any more. Betsy, can't you watch him a little bit while Daddy lies here and gets a little sun?
I want to go out in my new boat.
Well, we will.
Well, the honeymoon is over. Mommy's calling to you.
What? What did you say?
Telephone. It's that fellow from your office, the one with 6 children.
What? Mackie Bolin?
Yes, I guess so.
What's he want?
Bolin, I think sure that's the name. He wondered if we had company, and if we didn't, could he bring his family over? Also, some visiting brother or sister with his or her children or something. I didn't get it. He just...
Oh, well, certainly not. This is our day to have a little family privacy. I mean, I don't like to be selfish, but for Pete's sakes, what did he do? Did he just ask that? I mean, did he just come right out and say, can we all come over?
Well, yes, and I didn't know what to say. So you better go get on the phone. I told him. Go on, dear. I told him we might have company, but he just said something about the more the merrier.
Oh, yeah? Well, all right. Well, don't worry. This is our day now. More the merrier indeed. I tell you, some people have more darn nerve.
Are we going to have company?
I'm afraid so. You didn't.
Yes, I did. You said I was very sorry, that we'd love to ask them all over, but we had other plans and some other time and so forth, you know.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was very pleasant. You know, but I see no reason why we should have our day ruined by people that, you know, who call up like that, and we really don't even know.
I know. I just wondered.
I mean, I know him, but he's not a close friend.
No, of course not. Well, we didn't even ask our close friends over today.
No, I mean, there.
Oh, thank heavens. You know what it would have been like.
Yeah, wouldn't have any chance to relax and rest. I mean, that's for sure, you know.
Well, that's what I meant.
A lot of
what
people
I meant.
around.
You racing around finding ginger ale and a dozen assorted cold drinks for everybody, you know.
And there's always somebody who acts kind of mad, you know what I mean? Because you don't have exactly what he wants.
Yes.
Oh, you mean you don't have any root beer?
Yeah, only he's mad, real mad.
Yeah.
And hand me the suntan lotion, dear. I'd have wound up fixing hamburgers or hot dogs for everybody or passing out cookies.
And all the kids would have taken my new boat. Whenever people come over here, there's always a lot of big boys who take my beach ball and everything else.
I know, dear. I know. What is it? Don't, Bobby, don't eat the sand, dear. No, don't eat. It's not good.
You know,
yes.
What annoys me from past experience, last year, you know, was the way everybody brings a radio or a portable phonograph.
Yes,
you got to listen to about a dozen different kinds of music from all of them. Yeah, I tell you, it drives me wild.
What drives me wild is the way people litter up the place. Candy wrappers and paper cups and beer cans and ginger ale bottles. Honestly, no respect, you know.
We'll say most people generally have picked up their debris before they left.
Well, yes, I guess.
Yeah,
that's
I will
true.
say that.
Uh-huh. They're usually so grateful we ask them over. Oh, it really is a beautiful spot, isn't it? Beautiful, quiet beach, lovely warm sand, whispering pine trees, blue sky.
Yes, sir, and it's all ours. You know, it's kind of nice being together like this. What do you think, Betsy, isn't it?
I guess so.
You guess so?
Yes, so?
Well, I like being with you and Mommy, but I'd have more fun if I had somebody my age I could play with.
Oh,
come on, Daddy. Check our supply of cold drinks, and I'll take more hamburger out of the freezer. You know the Boland's number?
Oh, yes, I know it. I wrote it down in case we changed our plans or our minds.
As we both knew we would, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, come on in the house. Now, Betsy, you watch Bobby, won't you, dear? Bobby, now be careful, dear. Yes. Now, don't eat the sand, sweetie. Don't eat the sand. Come on, honey. Let's get all the things out. Never mind. You tried, but I guess in the long run it is the more the merrier, huh?
Yeah, but what is this togetherness I have heard so much about?
Well, I think to a child it means, what can we do since I'm stuck with you?
Don't be half safe.
Don't be half safe.
If you've ever ruined a dress with perspiration stains, you might as well tear it up and throw it away.
Well, here's a new Vanishing Cream deodorant that stops perspiration stains, stops odor. New Arid, now fortified with Perstop. You rub Arid in, rub perspiration out. Rub Arid in, rub odor out.
Only a cream that penetrates deep into pores where perspiration starts can effectively stop perspiration stains, stop odor. Arid, used daily, stops perspiration stains, stops odor completely for 24 hours.
Remember, nothing protects you like a cream, and no cream protects you like Arid, proved 1.5 times as effective as all leading deodorants tested against perspiration and odor.
Get Arid with Perstop today, only 43 cents plus tax.
I got the films back. We took Christmas. We can run them off tonight.
Oh, the Cunninghams are coming over for bridge.
Oh, well, that's okay. We can play a little bridge, and then I'll get out the projector.
Oh, I think maybe we ought to do it when we're alone, honey. You know, they're mostly of Betsy, and then she can see them,
Well,
too.
no,
you
I
know.
want to see them.
Well, the Cunninghams may not want to look at our home movies. I mean, you have a tendency to do this when company comes, dear, and you know, other people are not always so crazy to see home movies of your child.
Darling, it isn't just a Betsy. I got some wonderful outside shots of, snow and Christmas decorations.
Well, I know,
Look,
dear,
Harry's
but-
interested in photography, too, honey. We're always discussing certain camera technique and all
I
that.
know.
Look, we'll ask them if they want to see them.
Well,
That's
they're
it.
not going to say no, dear. They can hardly be that
Of course,
rude.
then. Now, look, why I've shown home movies dozens of times, and other people are always crazy to see. You just wait and see.
Yes, all right, dear.
If you're suffering from a heavy cold or the flu, some of your most bothersome symptoms are sneezing, stuffiness, and chest congestion. You can relieve those distressing symptoms, however, by relying on dependable all-purpose mentholatum. To relieve nasal stuffiness, put a little mentholatum inside each nostril. And mentholatum in your steam vaporizer brings clearer, more comfortable breathing. Here's something else. Medicinally soothing mentholatum is wonderfully effective for chest congestion, and its mildness makes it kind even to children's delicate skin. It's also ideal for chapped skin and lips. Use mentholatum often at the first sign of a cold or the flu. Mentholatum's available in both the United States and Canada.
Two spades.
3 clubs.
3 spades.
Pass. Pass.
Well, pass.
That's all we need, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'll pass.
Pass. Well, I guess we got it. Lay down your hand, dear.
Say, Harry, I got some film back today. Movies I took at Christmas.
Oh, now let's see. What's trump?
Spades.
Did you like to see him?
What?
The film I got back. Won't take me a second to get out the projector.
Oh, no, don't bother. That's a lot of trouble.
No trouble at all.
Well, Harry does have to get up early in the morning. It's pretty late now. In fact, I was thinking this ought to be our last hand.
Oh, look, while we're playing that last hand, I can get out the projector and have it all set up.
Well, dear, it is 11:30, and you know, it takes time to get the film
Look,
on.
I'm dummy right now. I can have it all set up to go by the time we're finished. That is, unless you don't want to see them.
Oh, no. It isn't that.
No, of course not. We'd love to see them. It's just that...
Well, fine. What'd I tell you, darling?
Well, dear, I do think...
Matter of fact, I think, Carol, that there's a picture of you on it. You know, you stopped over here one day, and I caught you just coming out the door.
Oh, really? Oh, well, Harry, if you think we could stay a few more minutes.
Yeah, I think you're on it, too, Harry. I think I caught you getting out of the car. You know, you came to pick up Carol.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, she thought you wouldn't want to see him, but I said, well, I'll ask you.
I said no. He just loved to see him. Oh, well, fine. Well, dear, this can't be the new film.
No, darling, I know, but they haven't seen these, and I thought I'd lead up to the... there's Betsy picking some flowers.
Oh, that's cute of her, dear, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there she is on her bicycle.
Oh, she got that last Christmas. She wanted a two-wheeler so badly. Look at her wobbling on it. Oh, there she goes down the street.
There she is coming back.
Yeah. Oh, there I am. Oh, I take terrible pictures.
Betsy, there she is playing in her sand pile.
That's cute. She loves to make sand pies. Look, Carol.
Yeah.
Look at that.
She's darling.
I got some good shots there, Harry. Don't you think of the autumn leaves?
Yeah, swell.
Oh, there's Betsy again, jumping rope.
Oh, that's awfully cute of her, dear.
Yeah.
Really, is it? Oh, dear, what happened?
Oh, the film broke.
Oh,
dear.
golly, that's a shame, pal. But I think we ought to be running along anyhow.
Yes, I
No, look, it won't take me a second to patch it. I got all my equipment set up right here on the desk, and besides, you haven't seen the ones you're in.
Well, I tell you, it is so late, and we really ought to go.
This won't take me a second, Carol. Look, you know, you get them some more coffee, darling,
Oh,
while
yes,
they're waiting.
sure, fine. I'll get you some coffee.
Oh, there's Betsy on her sled. Yeah, oh, look, there's some good shots of the snow, don't you think, Harry?
Yes, well.
Who's that, dear? Oh, those are the people we met last summer. They stopped in on their way to visit their daughter for Christmas. Awfully nice, weren't they, dear?
Oh, very nice,
dear.
very nice. Yes, she didn't want to have her picture
No, look
taken.
at it, look at it.
giggling, trying to hide behind her husband. What was his name, dear?
What was his? Leonard,
yes,
I
that's
think.
right.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's throwing a snowball at me, so I'll stop taking the picture. Oh, boy.
Oh, really? Home movies are just the most marvelous invention, aren't they, Carol?
I'm beginning to wonder.
What?
I said it's beginning to thunder.
Thunder? Oh, no. It must have been our furnace. It often goes on with a big roar. Oh, there's Betsy again. Building a snowman. These are awfully good of her, dear.
I think so. Yeah, just the right amount of light there.
Uh-huh. Yes, you did. They're very good.
There you are, Carol.
Where?
Oh, wait a minute. I guess it was just a quick shot. Wait a minute. I'll run it back. Just a
Can
second.
you see all right, Harry? Am I in your way?
No, I can certainly see.
Oh, fine.
There you were, Carol.
Well, I guess it was a quick shot, but it was awfully good of you, Carol.
Yeah, there's Harry. There you are, Harry.
Oh, yeah.
That's me?
Well, I just got the back of you, but yeah, that's you.
And there's Betsy again, making angels in the snow.
By golly, didn't these turn out nicely?
They did, dear. They really did. You're getting to be quite professional. Shall I turn on the lights?
Yeah, please, if you will.
Well, Harry, I think we ought to.
Say, did you ever see the ones we took in Quebec? Harry?
Yeah, we saw those.
No, I don't think you did.
Well, dear, anyhow, it's 1:30.
Well,
I
they
think
didn't
maybe
see the ones we got in Quebec because we got those back in August and you were still away on your trip.
Say, you never did see the films we took on our European trip.
No, we didn't.
Like to see them?
Yes, I should say so. Love to see them sometime.
As a matter of fact, I was sort of hoping you'd get out the projector tonight. Hated to ask you, but on the chance you might, I brought our film along.
Oh.
Would you like to see it?
Well.
Sure, Harry.
Yes. It is late. Maybe tomorrow. I mean, we have to get up early, too.
Look, we've got them right here. Might as well run them. Are you sure you want to see them?
Oh, yes, sure.
And here we are in Italy.
Oh, you have to see Italy. It's just beautiful.
Yes, well, it looks lovely. We certainly hope someday we can get there.
There's Carol riding on a gondola. And there she is on the Bridge of Sighs.
Uh-huh.
The woman with me was an English woman. Just fascinating. Lived in Italy for years. Apparently had a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
She invited us to this marvelous home she had, filled with priceless paintings and statues, you know. She just couldn't do enough for us, you know. Can you see all right?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yes, I can see fine.
Look, there's Carol again. That's in Rome. Oh, that's a count with her, or a prince, or whatever he was. We met him and see some other friends of ours. He really showed us Rome.
Oh, we got to places that the ordinary tourist just doesn't get to. You know, those charming, quaint, out-of-the-way, delightful experiences. Oh, his name was Count de Bonfietti.
No, was that nice?
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, and here we are
Very
in Switzerland.
interesting.
That's the big glacier, the Jungfrau. Now,
Yes.
there we are in the cable car.
Well.
And I took this as the boat pulled away from Le Havre, and we're on our way home. Well, I guess that's about all Oh, I must have finished this for you when I got back. Well, what's that? I don't seem to recognize
Did
that.
you take that on that convention you went on?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you're in on this, Jeff. That Chamber of Commerce convention we went on, you know?
My, you certainly had a nice hotel. Good heavens, to hear you tell it when you got back, you had a miserable time.
Oh, no. I just meant it was nothing special.
Nothing special. Look at that luxurious swimming pool. Who is that?
Oh, it was just some girl there, dear.
Oh, don't give it a thought. Didn't mean a thing. I just happened to be taking a picture of the swimming pool, and your old man here was trying to throw her in. I mean, well, there was a whole bunch of it, perfectly innocent, you know.
Yeah, I didn't even remember.
Well, that's the end of that.
Yeah.
Boy, 3:30. Say, I hope you folks enjoyed them.
Yes, indeed, I did very much. I'll get your coat, Carol.
I got some overshoes out here, too.
Pete's sake, you're a fine one.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't even know it was on that film. Anyhow, there wasn't anything to it. We were all just clowning around.
But you don't expect her to believe that, do you?
Good night, Harry.
Well, we certainly enjoyed your films.
Well, I certainly enjoyed yours.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment. Except for diplomats, persons accredited to certain international organizations, and those who have been granted temporary admission to the United States as agricultural workers, every alien is required to report his address to the United States government. This registration must be made during the month of January. If you are an alien, here's what to do. Go to the nearest post office or to any office of the Immigration and Naturalization Service to obtain the proper registration card. Fill out the card as soon as possible and return it to the clerk from whom it was obtained. Do so without delay. Willful failure to submit this report could result in serious penalties provided by law. Get your card today. Fill it out and return it as quickly as you can. That way, you won't have it on your mind. And you won't be risking any penalties either. Remember, alien reports of address must be submitted to the government before the end of this month.
Did you set the alarm?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, nearly 4 o'clock. What got into him, anyhow, wanting to show us all that film at 1:30?
Did you open the window?
Yeah. Didn't they meet anybody in Europe that wasn't a count or a prince or had a fortune? Did you notice?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we better get some shut-eye. Good night, darling.
Good night.
Hey, don't I get a kiss? Now, look, I've told you, I didn't know the girl. The guys even put me up to it. In fact, it was Harry, if you want to know. The girl had pushed him into the pool, so he said, pick her up and throw her in, and I'll get a picture of it. I mean, you could tell she was a good sport and a good swimmer, so, I mean, well, everything was just... Well, I mean, as Harry said, it was perfectly innocent fun.
Good night.
Don't you believe me?
Yes. I'm not mad. I'm embarrassed.
What do you mean, embarrassed?
Doesn't it occur to you that it was Harry who encouraged you to do that? Harry who took the picture? Harry who showed it to me? Harry who just by chance happened to have all his films with him when he came tonight?
Yes. Yes, what does all that add up to?
You think all our friends are maybe getting sick of our showing them our home movies? He was teaching us a lesson or something?
Oh, no. Look, those shots I took of Betsy were just beautiful. Certainly a darn sight more interesting than those films he took in Europe. Look, you can see better ones in a travelogue if you want to see shots of Europe. He doesn't know anything about photography, that guy, using a number 2 filter.
Dear, we never see ourselves as others see us. Let's think about it, huh?
Yeah.
Good night, darling.
Night. One thing, he's certainly a rotten bridge player.
Go to sleep, dear.
And now here are the stars of our show speaking for Glamourine.
Dish towels? No, I don't think so. Placemats, pot holders.
Honey, what are you talking about?
Oh, I guess I was thinking out loud. You see, when we get home, I'm giving a shower for Mabel. Practical things, you know.
Well, hey, I got an idea.
What?
How about Glamourine? That's practical. Just the other day you told me you didn't know how you could keep house without Glamourine.
That's right, I did. I'd never have gotten our rugs and upholstery clean without it.
Well, it seems to me a bride-to-be would want to know about Glamourine. I know I would if I were a bride.
Well, don't worry, dear. You never will be. But come to think of it, Glamourine is a practical gift. I'll get Mabel a special combination offer. You know, the giant 98-cent pint free with a giant quart. Both for only $1.89. Gee, I'm glad I thought of it. Don't you think it's a wonderful idea?
Yeah, well, now that you mention it, I do. Yes, honey, I really do.
Looks like everybody agrees it's Glamourine to get rugs and upholstery really clean. Glamourine clean. Get Glamourine's big spring cleaning offer now. The giant 98-cent pint free with a giant quart. Both for only $1.89. Get yours now while the supply lasts.
Betsy, now put your hat and coat on if you want to go with us.
Where are we going?
We're driving to Salem this morning to see the House of Seven Gables, where Nathaniel Hawthorne lived and wrote a book.
Well, you all ready? Okay, come on. Where's Aunt Effie?
Betsy, run down to Aunt Effie's room and tell her we're ready now.
Okay.
Did you get the car out?
Yes, it's in front of the hotel.
What's the matter? You seem annoyed.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm getting a little tired of historic tours. Frankly, I think it's silly to drive way out to Salem just to see the House of the Seven Gables. I can't even remember what the book was like.
Well, we've planned it, dear, for today, so now let's get started. It takes about 2 hours to get there.
2 hours?
Well, it's about 70 miles from Boston to Salem. I asked the waitress in the dining room this morning, and that's what she said.
Honey, why do you ask the waitress in the dining room how to get to Salem? Why don't you leave these things to me? I mean, Salem is about 20 miles from Boston.
Well, here I am. I'm all ready. Are you taking a coat?
Well, I thought I would. We'll have the car. And
yes, that's what I thought.
Betsy, go on. You can ring for the elevator.
Oh, here. I wrote down the directions for getting to Salem.
Oh, who did you get them from?
The maid.
Yeah,
And she brought me some fresh towels. And she said she wasn't sure, but she thought if we took Route 128.
Look, would you two girls just leave this to me? I mean, instead of asking everybody...
Well, darling, you never want to ask anybody,
Look,
you know.
I have got a map. I can read. I am fairly bright. Don't argue. So stop worrying now, will you? I will get you to Salem. Now, come on.
Spring clean with Glamourine liquid rug and upholstery cleaner. Remember, while the supply lasts, the giant 98-cent pint is yours free with the giant quart. Both for the price of the quart alone, only $1.89. More than enough Glamourine liquid to make all the rugs and upholstery in the average home professionally bright and clean again. Remember, more women buy Glamourine and then buy it again than all other rug and upholstery cleaners combined. So get your Glamourine in the giant quart-pint combination today. Both for only $1.89.
Well, I don't see any sign that says Sumner Tunnel.
Well, I think we've missed it.
The man said we couldn't miss it if we stayed on this road.
Well, we've wound around so many times, I think we're going back the way we came. Look, the sun's in front of us now. We're going south instead of north.
Why, yes. There's that same building we passed going the other way.
You better get off this parkway or whatever it is and ask somebody. Turn off right here. There's nothing coming. Go on. Go on.
How in Sam Hill could we be going south when we were headed north? I ask you.
Well, we turned wrong, I suppose, somewhere. There. Now, there's a man. Ask him. Pull up and ask him.
All right. Now, let me do it. I'll ask.
Excuse me.
I will ask him. Excuse me. How do we get to Salem?
Salem, well, there's several ways.
Well, just give me one of them, would you? I mean, the quickest one. We won't be getting there at all.
Well, go down here to the third set of lights, then make a left. Go under a viaduct. You'll see a sort of ramp. You go up that, make a left. Stay right on that till you come to Sumner Tunnel. You can't miss it.
Well, that's where we were, and we did miss it.
Yeah? Oh, I know what you did. When you got that bridge, you turned left and came right back down the other side. Now, when you get the bridge, go under it, and right in front of you is the Sumner Tunnel. You can't miss it.
You don't know us, but I hope you're right.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll try it again.
Well, my goodness, it looks just like the pictures of it, doesn't it?
Yes. Has it got 7 gables? Come on, Betsy. Let's go in.
I'm waiting for Daddy. He drove him back to park the car.
Oh, well, there he comes.
You see, what they should have is a much bigger sign that says Sumner Tunnel before you get to the turnoff. It is not plainly marked.
Now, look, will you get over it? Get over it.
No,
now,
but
we finally found it. We're in
the way
Salem. Now, come on. We're going through the house that Hawthorne wrote about. Come on, dear, now. It's
Well,
exciting.
I don't know. We've been through so many historic old houses. They're all getting to look alike. The candle holders and the bed warmers and the trundle beds and the
Well, come
whatnots
on,
and the...
Come on now, let's go in.
Come on, Betsy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's lunchtime, and I'm afraid the next tour of the house doesn't start for 45 minutes. But in the meantime, if you care to look around by yourselves, we have a gift shop where you can buy postcards and a booklet of the house. Any gifts or souvenirs, it's right in here.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I want some postcards.
Is that all right with you, dear, to wander around until the tour starts?
Well, we're here. We might as well do the whole thing.
Would you like to buy some postcards?
No. You go ahead. Browse among the bric-a-brac. I'll wander around, take a quick gander at the place. Maybe go outside for a breath of air, look at the ocean.
All right, dear. We'll be right here.
Come here, dear. Oh, my, what a lovely living room they had.
Oh, yes. These lovely big old houses. They just don't build them this way anymore. Oh, look at that view of the ocean out this window. Look here, Betsy.
I saw it.
We seem to be the only people here to look at the house.
Well, it's lunchtime. Goodness, doesn't it give you a funny feeling to be standing in the very room where Nathaniel Hawthorne and his wife probably used to sit in the evenings?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember anything he wrote besides The House of Seven Gables. And I certainly don't remember that very well, except that everything seemed very gloomy and dark, which the house isn't at all.
No, it doesn't seem that. Well, Hawthorne wrote The Scarlet Letter, you know.
The Scarlet Letter? Sounds familiar. I must have read it.
Of course. Aunt Effie, the woman, you know, who had to wear a big red letter A on her dress. You remember that?
Oh, yes, of course.
Why, Mommy?
Don't sit on the chair, Betsy. Get up, dear. Don't you see the sign? Please do not touch.
Why did the lady have to wear letter A on her dress?
Oh, she had to, just because.
Because why?
Well, because she did something she shouldn't have done. Now, come on.
She was naughty.
What did she do that was so naughty, Mommy?
Why don't you look around at this lovely, lovely house? Now, when you get to high school, you'll read Nathaniel Hawthorne, and you'll be able to say that you've seen the House of Seven Gables yourself.
What did the lady do that was so naughty?
I'll tell you when you get older now.
You always say that. And when I do get older, then you'll forget what you were going to tell me.
Come on now, will you? Let's look at the house, dear.
Come on, dear. The woman said the tour of the house is just starting.
Well, I know, but where is he?
We can't find Daddy.
Oh, I've looked everywhere. He doesn't seem to be outside.
I wouldn't worry about him.
Well, you missed the tour of the house, Aunt Effie.
I don't think he cares whether he misses it or not.
Probably not. Come on, Betsy. Now, come on in here with you. Be very quiet and don't stand in front of the people now.
And above the fireplace, you see the candle holders and the whale oil lamps used at that time.
Oh, yes. Let me see
The house was built in 1668. On the right of the fireplace is the bed warmer used by Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Oh, yes.
To the left of the fireplace is a very old chest that was also used by the Hawthorne family. Now, as we pass from the kitchen into the dining room, notice the depth of the chimney. This way, please.
Betsy, don't push in front of the lady like that. Excuse me, I'm terribly sorry.
And while it
Come
was
on,
not
Betsy.
unusual for chimneys to be as much as 8 feet deep, in this case there was a purpose. If you will notice, on this side of the dining room fireplace, what is apparently a large closet is a secret panel.
Interesting.
Look at that, Harriet.
You'd never know. It looks just like a brick wall
I
there.
know, my goodness.
Oh, what, Mommy?
Revealing a secret stairway, which you may go up single file. It's very narrow and winding. There is a light halfway up.
Oh, what fun. A secret stairway. Isn't that fun, Betsy?
What was it used for?
I'll explain all that at the top of the stairs. Now, if you will file up through the secret stairway, I will go up the other way and open the secret panel at the top by the time you get there.
Let me see, Mommy.
Yes, all right, Betsy. Get in line, dear. Now, that lady was first. Let her go ahead,
My
darling.
goodness, Betsy, a secret stairway.
Well, it is rather dark
We'll
in
just stay right in
here.
back of the lady.
What is it? What's the matter? What is it?
There's a body in there.
It's all right. It's just me. Let me out of here, will
That
you?
sounds like Daddy up there.
Well, yes, excuse me, please. Let me pass.
Oh,
Let me in there. Is
That's
that
the woman, dear. She seems to have fainted.
Stand
is
back,
going
please.
on?
Give the lady some air. Stand back.
I'm sure I heard my husband up in the stairway there. Dear?
Yes, it's
For
me.
heaven's sakes, is that you up there?
Yes, it's me. I would like to know what in Sam Hill this place is.
A secret stairway. How did you get in here? And just what do you think you're doing?
Secret stairway. Secret stairway.
Somebody lift the lady out, please.
Just what is he up to, hiding in the secret stairway?
I have no idea.
We'll return to the couple next door in just a moment. Once there was a little baby who was always in a soup. Not just any soup, mind you. He preferred beechnut baby soups. Tomato and vegetable, and especially beechnut chicken soup. Oh, what a big grin after every golden spoonful. He just knew that beechnut chicken soup was extra special good, almost as though he had been to Beechnut Babyland, that special place for baby food, as though he had seen how carefully the soup was prepared, luscious ingredients cooked and flavored exactly to baby's taste. So, beechnut chicken soup? All beechnut baby soups. In fact, every beechnut baby food brings to baby the special sunny goodness of Beechnut Babyland. Why not treat your baby to beechnut, the most babied foods in the world?
I just told you.
Well, I don't know yet what you were up to,
Well-
but I don't think it was very funny, and you have scared that poor woman to pieces in there.
Funny, look, I didn't know this was a secret stairway. For Pete's sake, the
Honest.
secret panel was open when I first wandered through the house. It just looked like an open door, so I took a look, and here was this little winding stairway, and that woman said, you said we could look around the house, and all of a sudden somebody banged the door shut.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm afraid I did, sir.
There I was.
Well, I suppose it was left open from the last tour, and I wanted to close it before this one started.
Yeah.
And I did go past after you were in the house and shut the secret panel.
You sure did. I have been sitting in there with a 5-watt lantern for 1 hour. I banged and pounded, but it's all brick, and well, I figured somebody'd find me eventually, so I guess, I sat down and kind of dozed off. And when that woman started up the stairs and fell over me, and
Didn't you get scared, Daddy, and they were all alone?
No, not exactly scared, but I certainly wondered what in blazes I'd wandered into.
Well, why didn't you yell?
What would I yell?
You could have yelled, help!
I did. I yelled help just once, and I felt so darn silly I shut up.
Well, we're awfully sorry, sir. Now, if you would like to continue with the tour of the house, the group is in the next room.
No, thanks. I've had enough of historic tours. I wouldn't look at one more old house or battlefield or one more historic site.
Well, darling, tomorrow you can stay in the hotel and just rest.
Yeah, well, by golly, I will. Where are you all going?
Plymouth Rock. But it's 9.5 hour tour, dear.
No, I think I'll go. I can't bear to miss anything.
About the size of it, too. Well, let's not miss this either, dear. We paid for it. Now, come on.
And the serving wagon, which was used by Sophia Peabody, Hawthorne's wife. It is interesting to note that here on the
The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce, with Francie Myers, Margaret Hamilton, Pat England, Belle Flower, and Roger DeCoven, and is produced by Walter Hart.
Presents Hollywood. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, bring you the Lux Radio Theater, starring Ray Milland and Elizabeth Scott in The Perfect Marriage. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. William Keighley.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. And so they were married and lived happily ever after. Well, most motion pictures, like most books and stories, end on that optimistic note. For a change, we're going to start our play in the middle of a happy marriage and carry on from there, with some surprising happenings in Hal Wallace's new comedy, The Perfect Marriage. The ingredients of this union are a charming couple known as Dale and Maggie Williams, played tonight by Ray Milland and Elizabeth Scott. A perfect acting team for this romantic, slightly zany saga. I suppose we all have different ideas of what makes a perfect marriage. To a woman, it might be a husband who never forgets an anniversary. And to a man, it might well be a wife who never forgets her looks and grooming, which, of course, means Lux Soap for complexion care. And while I won't go quite so far as to claim that Lux Soap guarantees a perfect marriage, I'm sure a lovely Lux complexion can contribute to romance, as many of you ladies must have discovered for yourselves. It's playtime as we bring you Paramount's The Perfect Marriage, starring Ray Milland and Elizabeth Scott in, well, let's say the title roles. Our curtain rises on Act One. After 10 years of married life, Dale and Maggie Williams are the happiest couple in town. Tonight is their 10th wedding anniversary. And is the living room of their lovely home crowded with celebrating friends and relations? No, it is not. Dale and Maggie are observing the occasion all by themselves.
Oh, it's so wonderful, Dale. I mean, you're wanting to be alone with me tonight. I mean, after 10 years.
10 wonderful, glorious years.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather have a great big repulsive party with your mother and father and my mother and father and all our friends and...
Oh! Maggie, what is it?
Oh, my back. It's my back again.
Sit down, sweetheart. I'll rub it for you.
Oh, Dale, of all times for my back to act up again.
Now, just relax, dear. I'm possibly the best masseur on the Eastern Seaboard.
Oh... Oh, darling, you're a genius. It feels better already.
Good.
Oh, you must be so bored with my aching back.
Bored? That's a funny word to use. Well, unless you are.
Oh, not in the least. Why do you ask?
Oh, I was just thinking about tonight. I mean, you and I by ourselves. I thought maybe some little place with a rumba band and
well, of course,
castanets.
darling, if this seems dull to you.
Oh, no. But if you want to go out, I mean, it's perfectly all right with me.
Dale, do you want to go out?
No.
Neither do I.
Good. Now give me a kiss.
Oh, darling.
Just like the movies, huh?
Cookie, I thought you went to bed long ago.
But I'm cold.
Think you can get warm in 5 minutes?
I'll certainly try. This is kind of a special night, isn't it, Mommy?
Oui. That's French.
Natch. That's not French.
Remember last year, Daddy? You and Mommy told me about when you met. I want to hear it again.
Cookie, it's way past your bedtime.
Please, Daddy?
Please, Daddy? Well, now, let's see. About 10.5 years ago, your Grandma and Grandpa Haggerty and I decided to get rid of that old farmhouse in the country and buy a beautiful little Pennsylvania Dutch affair up the road. Well, it seems your father had the same idea.
I got there first. They didn't buy it, and I did.
Cookie, I think you ought to know that the first time I saw your future father, I hated him.
Intensely.
Yes, Cookie, intensely. Anyway, a few weeks later when Gil was visiting us...
He was your mother's ex-flame, Cookie, a goop.
A very handsome and intelligent man,
Take
Cookie.
my word for it, Cookie, a goop.
Anyway, Grandpa Haggerty came rushing in and said the Williams place was on fire. Oh, Cookie, it was a moment of supreme and ecstatic joy to your dear mother.
But why?
Because she hated me, Cookie, and she loved watching my $20,000 house blazing merrily away.
Oh.
I was working like a Trojan, Cookie, absolutely exhausted, trying desperately to put out the blazing inferno single-handed.
But what about Mommy?
Well, I didn't pay any attention to her until the water ran out, and then I had to turn and see her grinning with delight. So I staggered over to her, and I said...
How happy can you get, he said.
And your mother said, I'm awfully sorry, but after all, you can always sell the embers for charcoal.
And then your father said, I don't suppose you were sneaking around here with a gasoline torch, or were you?
Whereupon your mother seized a bucket of water and dumped it on me. And Gil the Goop just stood there, laughing in his hearty baritone. And I knocked his teeth out, but he ran away.
He saw I was leaving, Cookie, and being a gentleman, he wouldn't dream of letting me go home alone.
But should you have left Daddy, Mommy?
Ah, but I wasn't your daddy then, Cookie. I was just a cold, damp, homeless youth. Well, your Grandpa Haggerty came to the rescue and invited me to spend the night at his place. And as if the fire wasn't enough, I was told to share the guest room with the Goop. That, of course, was ridiculous. So I went downstairs to find something to eat.
I happened to be in the kitchen, Cookie, eating a sandwich, playing solitaire, and having a big rage about our latest house guest.
Well, I made it known that I was hungry. And your mother, with her customary lack of graciousness, pointed to the icebox. And I finally found an old, tired chicken leg.
You should have taken your chicken leg and gone back to bed.
Yeah, but I couldn't bear to see the way you were butchering that game of solitaire.
Didn't you ever see a solitaire played before, Mr. Williams?
Never like this, Miss Haggerty. How about the red 7 on the black 8?
I have eyes. I was just going to do it.
You were also going to put the deuce of diamonds on the ace?
Certainly I was going to put the deuce of diamonds on the ace.
Well, don't. It happens to be the ace of hearts. Look, I'll show you a much better game. Now, you make 13.
If you think you're going to run me out of here before I finish my sandwich, you're crazy.
I'm not interested in your sandwich. Now, the idea of this game is to make 13. The king is 13, you see? And the queen and the ace are 13. A 10 and a 3.
I can count.
Maggie.
What?
Maggie, I'm in love with you.
Is that when it happened?
Uh-huh. That's when it happened.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear about it. Good night, Mommy.
Good night, Cookie.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, honey. No stalling. Now, go ahead, scram. You know, she's spoiled, Maggie.
Oh, not really.
You know, I don't think I'm very good with Cookie.
Why, she adores you, Dale.
And I adore you, and I have a lot of very private things to say to you.
Oh, Dale, I want to hear each and every one of them. Oh, the door buzzer.
Oh, let it buzz.
Oh, but we can't.
Why not?
Well, we just can't. It might be important. I told Paris to cable me as soon as the Molyneux show was over.
You on that fashion magazine. Now, if you just quit your job. Maggie.
Come on in. Company, darling. Addison and Mabel and Gloria.
Hope we're not intruding, Dale. Oh, we are delighted.
Hello, darling.
Hiya.
Isn't it sweet of them to surprise us like this?
Yes, isn't it? We decided not to have a party. Now they've arrived, so we're going to have a party.
Oh, really, Dale? You know how people misunderstand your sense of humor?
Well, I don't. The man's asking us to get out in a perfectly nice, tactless way.
Oh, no. Sit down, put your feet up, take your shoes off. The evening's young.
Oh, darling, I love you. You're so funny.
That funny he isn't.
Well, I always say, what are your friends for, if not to share your happiness?
Well, now, wasn't that a pleasant little chat? And how the evening has flown by.
All right, we'll go. Come on, Mabel.
Oh, please, Addison, don't be mad. Dale and I just had the idea of being alone tonight, that's all.
Well, I can't think what two people who've been married for 10 years could possibly have to say to each other.
We mustn't judge others by ourselves, my love. Come on, Gloria, we'll go someplace and get fractured.
I'll see you to the door.
Don't bother, we know our way out.
No trouble at all. I'm so glad you stopped by.
Dale? It's after 12.
Eh? Oh, I must have dozed off.
Oh, our evening started off so beautifully.
Yes, it did, until your friends barged in.
My friends? Anyway, it was perfectly obvious you didn't want to be alone at all.
Well, I practically threw them out of the house.
You protested too much. You overdid it.
Well, you clung to them like a life preserver.
I was merely trying to be polite. And if there's something on your mind,
There's nothing on my mind except a desire to stop this bicker...
Well?
Darling, you look beautiful.
Oh, thanks, darling. It's the negligee.
Oh, it's ravishing. Is it new?
Is it new? You gave it to me this morning for our anniversary.
Yeah, I've good taste, huh?
Mm-hmm. You haven't said anything about your robe.
Oh, but darling, it's much too good for me. Your judgment is always impeccable.
Dale, it wasn't my judgment. I cheated.
Cheated?
Well, we've been so terribly busy at the office, I just had to get help.
Help?
Yes, dear. Your father and my father. They picked it out.
Oh.
But you've been busy, too, and yet you found time to buy me this gorgeous negligee and the bracelet and the...
Darling.
Yes, darling?
Well, as a matter of fact, my mother found the negligee and your mother found the bracelet.
Oh, I see.
Well, don't be so tragic about it. You did the same thing.
Only I told you.
Well, I told you.
The point is you didn't want to tell me. Apparently you were afraid to.
Now, let's don't make a whole big thing out of it.
Very well, let's be completely frank. Dale, I loathe your mother buying my anniversary gift.
Your mother went with her. Incidentally, you're extremely self-conscious about your mother.
My mother? Really, Dale, if we're going to talk about mothers, yours has hated me from the time we got married.
Well, I never exactly crept into your mother's little heart.
At least my mother's never interfered.
Never interfered?
Never.
Ha! I can give you 100 examples of her interference.
Give me one, just one.
All right. Your job in the magazine. Didn't she insist on your keeping it?
So that's it. You want me to quit my job?
Oh, now stop it, Maggie. Oh, Lord, Maggie, what's happened? We were so happy before.
We're just no good at sustaining a mood, I guess.
We've sustained one for 10 years. Love and trust and... Oh, darling, why are you crying?
Because it just isn't true, Dale. We're not telling the truth, and you know it.
But I love you.
But you're not in love with me. Well, are you?
Well, how can you say that?
Well, I haven't really cared either. Not lately.
What did you say?
I said I haven't really cared, and you haven't really cared.
You're right, darling. I haven't cared.
I'm glad that's over. Very glad indeed. Oh, Dale, there must be lots of thoughts milling around your head, like what's happened to us. How could it?
What has it? Oh, now, look, we have everything, you and I. Security, a nice home, and a fine child. We have wonderful jobs. Why, we have everything.
But there was a time, Dale, when you'd come home and I'd hear your key in the lock and the blood would rush to my head.
Doesn't rush anymore, huh?
No, Dale. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. And why not? Why not?
There's no answer.
Oh, but there must be. We must have made lots of mistakes. For one thing, we've allowed ourselves to become highly intimate acquaintances who share nothing but a roof.
I refuse to discuss this any longer. We'll talk about it in the morning.
This can't be put off.
I refuse to alter the whole course of my life in a minute and a half. Good night, ma'am.
If you think I'm going to leave this unsettled, you're very much mistaken.
My new robe. Her father.
His mother. I'll never wear this negligee again. Never.
Why, Mother Haggerty, this is a very pleasant surprise.
Surprise my foot.
Huh?
Dale, it's Sunday morning. You know perfectly well that your mother and I always stop by before church every Sunday morning.
Yeah, of course.
Dale, you just came out of the study, didn't you?
Well?
Oh, you needn't look so guilty. Cookie just told me.
Told you what?
That you slept in the study all night.
Well, as a matter of fact, I did.
Why?
Well, because... Well, Maggie suspected she was getting a cold, and with my sinuses, well, naturally, we decided not to take any chances.
Maggie upstairs?
Yes, I believe she is.
Excuse me. Your son's in the living room, Cora. Dale?
Oh, good morning, Mother.
Dale, you don't look at all well.
Well, I'm fine. And you look fine, too.
You're haggard and preoccupied.
Oh, nonsense.
You and Maggie should go away for a nice, long vacation. I can remember when your father and I... Oh, but you couldn't leave, could you? Maggie couldn't possibly quit that magazine.
But of course she could. Why, if I wanted her
now,
to...
see
why
here, Dale, I've just been talking to Cookie. Do you know what that child told me? She said that love... And it's no use trying to pretend, Maggie. Your marriage is falling apart, isn't it?
Oh, Mother, please.
I always told you he wasn't right for you, but no, you wouldn't listen to me. Now you can see what's happened.
Oh, but, darling, nothing's happened.
I've got eyes. If you'd married Gil...
But I didn't marry Gil. I married Dale. And if I never see Dale again in my entire life, I've had 10 of the most wonderful years in the world. Now, is that a good enough answer for you?
Very well, Maggie. And it's a good thing I'm not an interfering mother. If I were an interfering mother, I'd most certainly...
You can relax, Dale. They're gone. Well, what did your mother say?
She thinks you dominate me.
Mine was fascinating, too.
I told my mother you had a cold, and because of my sinuses...
That was my story, too.
See? We've been together so long, we even tell the same lies. That must mean something, Maggie. Do you suppose, for instance, that...
Oh, good morning, Rosa.
Breakfast ready, Mrs. Williams. Cookie's had hers long ago. I'd sure appreciate it if you'd eat quick.
We'll go right in, Rosa. It's Rosa's day off, Dale.
Maggie, Well, let's talk in the dining room.
Very well, but I know just what you're going to say. Let's forget the whole business.
I guess you want to talk.
I certainly do.
You also wouldn't mind just a touch of a scene. With a bit of sobbing, too.
I got little country sausages, Mr. Williams.
Just coffee for me, Rosa, please.
Pops on the table. Don't know why I bother to cook.
Do you think I ought to go in there and make peace with Rosa?
You'd like to, wouldn't you? It would postpone our little talk. Oh, Dale, last night you and I faced something most married people wouldn't dare to face. Let's go on with it. Let's shed all the lies that husbands and wives tell each other.
I haven't told you any lies.
Well, I've lied to you hundreds of times.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you either. Oh, Dale, what are we saying? What are we doing to each other?
Whatever it is, it's slightly horrible.
Oh, but we mustn't. We just mustn't.
Well, I'm glad you're coming to your senses, darling.
My senses? What about your senses?
All right. Mine, too.
Oh, you were so right. We still have so many good things together.
We do, don't we?
Oh, let's try. Let's try with everything we've got.
Everything.
Darling, the first thing tomorrow, I'm going to buy Gloria Adams something really expensive.
What did you say?
Gloria, I was half awake the night thinking about us, and that made me think of Gloria.
Look, I guess I'm not very bright,
well, don't
darling,
you
but
see, Dale, if anything happened between us, I'd be just like Gloria.
Well, is that bad? She's pretty. She's a swell job. Boyfriend?
Gloria's been married twice, Dale. Twice. Sure, she's pretty, but she's getting older every day, just like I am. Oh, she dresses beautifully, but she told me why herself. She said she has to. It's her last resort. All this talk about the attractiveness of the modern independent woman in her 30s, well, it just isn't true.
Well, if Gloria's made you realize all this, maybe I'd better send her something, too.
Oh, yes, darling, please do. Oh, I just couldn't bear being in her shoes.
I wouldn't let you be.
No, don't ever let me be, will you?
Never. Women are certainly funny.
Why?
Well, they haven't the same strength as men. They haven't the same ability to cope with the world. It's obvious, really, isn't it?
Well, I don't think it's as obvious as all that.
Well, look, wait a minute. Women over 30, like you and Gloria, it's the plain truth you have less of a chance of getting what you want than I have of getting what I want. And that's not fair. You see what I mean, don't you?
Well, I think I'm beginning to.
Why, I couldn't bear to think of you all alone without me. Cookie growing up and making it tougher for you each year to get a husband. After all, how many men want a woman with a child?
Very few.
You see? We'd be living in a sort of high-toned misery, all dressed up and no place to go.
I wonder if you realize what you're saying.
The truth. I'm being honest. That's what you said you wanted me to be. The soundest thing you can do is to hang on to what you've got.
Oh, is it? Excuse me a moment.
Fine time to make a phone call.
None better.
Whom are you calling?
I'm calling Addison.
Give him my love. Tell him...
Addison, this is Maggie. May Dale and I come over this afternoon?
Wait a minute.
No, Addison, it's about business. You're a lawyer, and we want to get a divorce.
Give me that phone. Addison!
Be quiet. We'll be there at 2:30, Addison. Thanks.
Have you gone crazy?
When I want charity, Dale, I'll go to the proper government authority.
Maggie, what do you want?
You heard me. I want a divorce.
In a moment, we'll be back with Act Two of The Perfect Marriage. And how's Libby Collins, our Hollywood reporter, tonight?
Oh, pretty excited, Mr. Keeley. You see, the picture my husband directed has been chosen to open the government's new security loan drive in New York State. The premiere is to be at the Winter Garden in New York on Wednesday night. Admission by bond only.
Well, that's an honor indeed for Universal International's new picture, Are You With It? A story built around the colorful life of a carnival.
With Donald O'Connor and Olga San Juan heading the cast.
Any carnival that has Donald O'Connor as its star performer ought to be a hit.
As a dancer, he's in a class by himself. He's a magnificent comedian, too.
I should think Olga San Juan was a happy choice as his teammate.
Oh, yes, she's delightful. Tiny, vivacious, and so attractive.
It must have been fun to see those two go through their paces.
Well, we saw some amazing footwork. Some of the dances certainly were strenuous, too. I know John Kennedy will be pleased when I tell him what an important role the new bath-size Lux toilet soap played in Are You With It?
How do you mean, Libby?
Well, Olga San Juan told me she used to look forward to a refreshing bath after those dance routines. It was a real luxury, she said, to have the big bath-size cake of Lux toilet soap in her dressing room.
Screen stars are certainly enthusiastic about the new bath-size Lux toilet soap.
And rightfully so. You get such a lot of creamy, fragrant lather with that generous big cake.
It was specially created to make a Lux soap beauty bath more luxurious than ever.
Screen stars love the delicate perfume it leaves on the skin. The same famous fragrance that reminds me of a garden of spring flowers.
It's easy to identify the new bath-size Lux toilet soap. It comes in the same familiar sampler wrapper. And here's a tip for the ladies. Why not let your husband enjoy that generous bath cake? Men go for the rich, creamy Lux soap lather, you know. In fact, you'll find the whole family will appreciate it for a shower or bath. The new bath-size Lux toilet soap is at your dealers now. Here's Mr. Keeley at the microphone.
Presenting Act Two of The Perfect Marriage, starring Ray Milland as Dale Williams and Elizabeth Scott as Maggie. Well, it's a few hours later, and Dale and Maggie have just arrived at the home of their friend, Addison Garrett, attorney.
I can't believe it. You two wanting a divorce? I'm simply appalled.
Let's keep it impersonal,
Yes,
Addison.
just be legal, please.
Well, in that case, have you thought of any financial arrangement?
I don't want one penny from Dale.
Addison, look. Maggie gets half of everything I have or ever will have. Is that clear?
I won't hear of it.
Oh, you have a child. Maggie, you've given Dale 10 years of your life.
Dale has given me 10 years of his life.
Oh, this is disgusting.
I'm not going to listen to a lecture. I'll get a lawyer who's not sentimental.
Get one for me, too.
Oh, sit down, both of you.
Now, look here, Addison.
Shut up and sit down. I went through bloody murder one night because of you, remember?
No.
Then I'll remind you. It was about 9 years ago. Maggie was in the hospital.
I don't see any occasion to bring up
I
anything...
do. We were waiting in the corridor, you and I. We've been waiting something like 14 hours. When that doctor walked up to us, you turned white.
We'll have to operate, Dale. I don't want to, but frankly, we must. I've your permission? There's a chance, Dale.
Whatever you think best.
Try not to worry, son.
Dale, don't look like that. Maggie's going to be all right. I know it. I feel it.
I'm not quite sure I know what's happening. I can only tell you that if something happens to Maggie, it'll happen to me. She's my heart, Addison, and my eyes and my hands. I've no intention of doing without her.
I've never known a man who loved a woman as you loved Maggie.
Well, you're both crazy. I'm as strong as an ox.
And as stubborn.
What did you expect of Dale? Naturally, he was distressed and unhappy. He's a human being.
Thank you, Maggie.
But what happened 9 years ago has nothing to do with today, Dale.
Absolutely nothing.
Now, let me tell you something about Maggie. Dale, you remember before the war you were working on those medium bombers?
Well?
Addison, don't you dare.
Well, Maggie called me one afternoon. Very nervous, in tears.
I was nothing of the kind.
She said you were going to make a test flight. Blind flying with radar and some special gadget for skip bombing. She was convinced they were going to bring you back in assorted pieces. But she insisted on going down to the airport.
Oh, why doesn't he come down? He's been up there for 20 minutes.
And it was your idea to come out and watch.
You've got to promise me something, Addison. You've got to. If anything happens to Dale, you and Mabel, you'll look after Cookie, won't you?
Oh, you're just being hysterical.
I'm just telling you, I couldn't live without him. Not a fraction of a second.
Well, pull yourself together. He's coming in.
Well, then let's get out of here.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't you want to stay and see him?
Oh, but Dale must never know I've been here, and promise me, Addison, you'll never tell him. Never.
All right, I promise.
Sorry my flying upset you so.
Well, it was your job, and I was hysterical, I suppose. I hate machines.
Shall we get back to the property settlement?
You don't have to be so legal, Addison.
Always thinking about business. Why couldn't we settle this in your office sometime?
Well, maybe we could even settle it by ourselves.
Dale! Maggie, I didn't know you were here.
Oh, hello, Mabel.
They're here on business, Mabel.
But that's silly. What business?
Personal business, darling.
Well, for 5 minutes it can wait. I simply have to have Maggie's advice about my mink coat.
Oh, really,
Come on, Maggie. The boys can talk business while I show you my coat.
Know what I think?
What?
I think my wife's been listening at that door ever since you got here.
Women.
You said it. Women.
And I couldn't help overhearing, darling. Oh, you poor, poor thing.
Mabel, please.
Of course, I've suspected it for months, but I never dreamed it would reach this stage. When did you find out about Gloria?
Gloria?
Well, certainly, Dale and Gloria.
Will you kindly explain what Gloria has to do with all this?
But, darling, but I thought you knew. I thought it was the reason for the divorce.
Mabel, I know you're trying to be a friend, but you sound like a nice, well-meaning rattlesnake. What about Gloria?
Look, last summer, when you went to see Cookie and Camp, your husband had dinner every night in a very obscure restaurant.
Maybe he liked the cooking there.
And maybe he liked Gloria there.
So they had dinner together. What of it?
This of it. They skulked, they giggled, they whispered together.
How do you know?
I saw them. Addison saw them. Sheila Jameson saw them. The Rileys saw them.
Thanks a lot, Mabel. I'm going home.
Maggie, why did you rush away from Addison's like that?
Because I chose to. Besides, we told Cookie we'd take her to the park for a pony ride.
Where is she?
Changing her dress.
Maggie, about us. I thought after what Addison said...
I'll admit I weakened for a moment, but my mind's made up, Dale.
Okay. What happens now? Do I move out?
When it's convenient.
What about Cookie?
If it's possible for a child to understand these things, she'll understand.
Oh, what about our families?
You can't get a divorce and not tell people about it.
I know certain places where a mild cheer will go up.
So do I. Incidentally, we invited Gloria for dinner tonight.
When did we do that?
Oh, last week, remember? I'm afraid I won't be able to join you.
Well, I'm not going either.
Huh?
All right, I will. It'll be a relief to get out of this house.
When you do go, for good I mean, take all the furniture that you picked out, including that loathsome lamp.
That lamp happens to be a superb 19th century bisque figure.
So you told me.
However, you don't like anything unless it's shocking pink and drips with tassels.
Well, let's hope your next will have a more simple taste. You're going to shop around, aren't you? I mean, you're not going to grab the first one who makes eyes at you.
I'm going to play the field.
Oh, good. Oh, good, good. Of course, at first, they won't notice those smug, self-satisfied wrinkles that are clustering around your eyes, my middle-aged friend.
And you, I suppose, are Venus. Coming home at the end of a big, important day at that magazine, putting commas and semicolons into a treatise on how to convert a horse blanket into an ermine wrap. Your hair all straggly, squawking about your dreary little problems.
Well, at last it's out. Your real opinion of me and my job.
Oh, you're a part-time businesswoman, a part-time wife, and a part-time mother.
I should have done that long ago. Now, if you excuse me, I'll see what's keeping Cookie.
The ponies are this way, Mommy.
Cookie, who's that little girl you just spoke to?
Lola Greenan. She goes to my school. She and her white fur coat. Her father gave her that white fur coat.
Not hinting, are you, sweetheart?
She makes her father give her presents because he has to keep in good with her.
He does?
Well, Lola's mother and father are divorced, like Nancy's mother and father. And Lola's father once bought her a beautiful, genuine imitation pearl necklace that cost $10. I certainly wish I had a genuine imitation pearl necklace.
Listen, are all your friends' parents divorced, for heaven's sake?
Well, you're not getting any imitation pearl necklace, my friend.
And you wouldn't get one even if we were divorced.
Oh, yes, I would. You'd have to stay in good with me, too.
Now, listen to me, young lady. Even if your mother and I didn't live together, nothing would be altered. Nothing.
Mommy, are you and Daddy getting a divorce?
What makes you think that?
I don't know, but it sounds just like the way Lola's mother and father told her. They said, if this and if that. Then a week later, it wasn't if anymore.
Darling, your daddy and I well, sometimes something happens.
You don't want them to happen, Cookie. They just do.
You are then, aren't you?
Well,
Yes, Cookie, we are.
Well, I might as well take that pony ride, as long as we're here.
We'll stand right here and watch you, darling. Oh, Dale, we mustn't ever let it spoil anything for her.
We'll do our best. Maggie, I think I'll run along.
Maybe you'd better.
See you later?
Of course. Give my best to Gloria. Sorry I'm a little late, Dale. Been waiting long?
Still on my first martini. Well, this is nice. Very nice.
Table for two. Where's Maggie?
She's not coming.
And I didn't believe it. Well, I still don't.
Believe what?
I'm late because I had a couple of phone calls. Some of our dearest friends say you and Maggie have had quite an argument.
Some of our dearest friends are right.
Then why the surprised look?
Because the only ones who know about it are Addison and Cookie. And I hardly think that either of them is publicity conscious.
You forget Addison is married to Mabel.
Mabel? Well, what did she say?
Oh, Mabel didn't call me. It was Julia Camberwell. And do you know who called her? Maggie's mother and your father.
Fine.
I said I had two calls. Remember Maggie's boyfriend from a way back?
Not the goop.
It was Gil, all right. He's still single and still interested in Maggie. He wanted confirmation. And Maggie's phone number.
Well, it's too bad Maggie isn't home. She took Cookie to the movies.
Dale, what happened? Whatever it was, surely you'll patch it up.
Suppose we don't.
That bad, huh? Well, then you'll both go through that rehabilitation process.
Will you help?
How exactly?
Oh, I don't know. Except that I seem to have got my appetite back. That's a good sign.
Dale, I'm scared. Suddenly I don't want to have dinner. Look, when it's over, when it's really honest to goodness 100% over, give old Dr. Gloria a ring. Meanwhile, I'm disappearing.
Thanks.
Sorry, pal. Don't take any wooden divorces.
Hello?
Is Mrs. Williams at home?
No, Mrs. Williams isn't at home.
This is Mr. Cummings, Gil Cummings. Who's this?
This is Mr. Williams, Dale Williams.
That's funny. I didn't expect you to be there.
Well, I happen to live here.
Then maybe you know when Maggie will be home.
I have no idea what time Mrs. Williams will be home.
You mind if I call again?
Not at all. No business of mine who my wife wants to talk to in the middle of the night. That overgrown rover boy, I'd like to kick the...
You better run straight to bed, Cookie, darling.
I want to say goodnight to Daddy.
But Daddy isn't here, honey.
Daddy's here.
Oh, she has to go right to bed, Dale.
Can't I talk with my mother and father while they're still together?
Well, brush your teeth, and Daddy and I will be in to say goodnight.
Okay, I'll call when I'm ready.
Poor Cookie.
Yes, poor Cookie.
Maggie,
Now, look, Dale, please don't start it all over again.
I'm just trying to tell you that Gil Cummings called.
Well, when did he get into town?
I haven't any idea.
Where's he staying?
I never thought to ask him, but he's going to call back.
Did you have a nice time with Gloria?
Excellent, thank you.
Oh, that's nice. She's such good company, isn't she?
Talk to me again, Daddy.
I always do, don't I?
But you won't be anymore.
Cookie, darling, we know this is awfully tough for you, and we're truly sorry, but it just can't be helped, that's all.
Why can't it?
Look, the circus is coming soon. Why don't we get all your friends and have a great big party, huh?
I don't like the circus.
Well, we could go away for Christmas vacation, go ice skating, tobogganing.
I don't know how to ice skate.
Well, you could learn.
No, I don't think so.
You know something? I've been thinking about that genuine imitation pearl necklace.
You have?
Now, if you're a good girl, I'll get it for you.
Thanks, Daddy. Daddy?
Yes, darling?
Couldn't you try?
I have tried. Believe me, I've tried.
Well, couldn't you try a little harder?
Yes, I could try a little harder. Sleep well, darling. Maggie?
Yes?
Want to talk to you.
Oh, sorry, I'm in an awful hurry. Gil just phoned. Oh, well, come on in. We're going to the Mayfair Club.
Oh? Well, why the evening gown?
Oh, well, I thought it would be gala. After all, I haven't seen Gil for ages.
Well, there's no need to get done up like a burlesque soubrette.
Tell me, dear, did you send Gloria yellow orchids tonight? I hope not. They go so bad with her complexion.
What are you talking about?
Well, don't tell me you took her out to dine all those other times and didn't send her flowers.
I can explain all that.
Why bother?
It's all perfectly innocent.
Oh, what's it?
Maggie.
Well?
Don't go out with that goop.
Now, Dale, let's try not to embarrass each other, shall we?
As your husband, I ask that you stay home.
I will not have a scene.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you'll get away from the door, I'd like to see Cookie.
Is it all fixed, Mommy? You and Daddy?
No, darling. I'm afraid it isn't.
But Daddy said he was going to try.
Oh, Cookie, you can't try to love someone. Either you do or you don't.
But you used to love him once, didn't you?
Of course.
Then how could you stop? I couldn't stop loving you or Daddy no matter what.
Oh, rats. Oh, Cookie, please try to go to sleep. Think about all the nice things you'd like to have.
I don't want anything.
Well, what about a genuine imitation pearl necklace? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take a strand of mine and made it especially for you. How's that?
Oh, boy.
And remember that I love you, and so does Daddy. And nothing in this world will ever change or harm that. Good night, darling. Dale.
I'm on the phone.
Oh.
And I just felt like talking to you, Gloria. Well, it's 100% on the level, no fooling over.
Good night, Dale.
Good night. Oh, no, I was just saying good night to Maggie. Look, I have a wonderful idea. If you can be ready in about half an hour...
Maggie, well, for goodness sake, what are you doing standing here at the curb and alone?
Well, Mother Williams and Father Williams. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to hail a taxicab.
Maggie, we've heard some rumors. I don't know what's happened, but this is absurd.
Well, I should have thought you'd be hanging out flags. Oh, taxi! Taxi!
Maggie, for years I thought I didn't approve. I was wrong. I can't imagine Dale without you.
Don't leave him, Maggie, please.
I'm awfully sorry, but I've got to.
Where to, lady?
The Mayfair Club, driver.
Come on, Cora. Hurry up.
Why?
When a woman is dressed up like that, anything can happen. I'm going to follow her.
Well, Mother and Father Haggerty, good evening.
On your way somewhere, Dale?
I am.
Dale, where's Maggie?
Maggie's at the Mayfair Club and with your favorite man, Mother Haggerty, the one you always hoped she'd marry instead of me.
This is heartbreaking for me, Dale.
Yes, and I'm sorry. Because you've always been a right guy, Pop. Can't say the same about you, though, Mother.
What?
Well, I'll be seeing you, I'm afraid.
Oh, Peter, well, do something. Taxi! Taxi!
We pause now for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
In just a moment, we'll bring you Act 3 of The Perfect Marriage. Our guest tonight is the talented Paramount actress, Miss Carol Matthews. Famous as Miss Chicago a few years ago, she passed the Hollywood screen test with flying colors. But that was only the beginning, wasn't it, Carol?
Indeed it was, Mr. Keeley. Having just graduated from high school, I'd had no acting experience. So I went to drama school and worked as a nightclub entertainer to earn my tuition. Eventually, I started my own radio show. Then came roles at the Pasadena Playhouse, and at last, what I wanted most of all, a studio contract.
Looking back on your experience, I'm sure you'd do it all over again.
Oh, yes. Being in pictures is never dull. Even now, I get a thrill watching a big production being filmed, especially when it has two such famous stars as Veronica Lake and Joan Caulfield.
Ah, you're speaking of the Sainted Sisters.
Paramount's new comedy with that wonderful actor, Barry Fitzgerald.
He takes a hand in shaping the lives of the Sainted Sisters, doesn't he?
Yes. Veronica Lake and Joan Caulfield are cast as a pair of very clever gold diggers. But as you know, Mr. Keeley, Barry Fitzgerald reforms them.
A delightful task, I'm sure. Am I right, John Kennedy?
Yes, I'd take on the job anytime. Two lovely blondes, two lovely Lux girls.
Indeed they are, Mr. Kennedy. Veronica Lake and Joan Caulfield both have such lovely fair skins. Naturally, they depend on Lux soap care.
It's a proven beauty care. In recent tests of Lux soap by skin specialists, actually 3 out of 4 complexions became lovelier in a short time.
Lux soap facial certainly worked for me. I discovered that long ago. I'm really grateful for a beauty care that's so simple and so effective.
Thank you, Miss Carol Matthews. 9 out of 10 screen stars recommend this gentle care. So here's a beauty tip for clever women everywhere. Why not try fragrant white Lux toilet soap for your precious complexion? See what quick new loveliness Hollywood's own beauty soap gives your skin. We return you now to William Keeley.
It's time for the third act of The Perfect Marriage, starring Ray Milland as Dale Williams and Elizabeth Scott as Maggie. During the last half hour, there's been a steady stream into the Mayfair Club of members of the Williams family. First came Maggie on the arm of a beaming, self-assured gentleman named Gil Cummings. Then came Dale and Gloria, followed by Mr. Williams Sr., and now by Maggie's father. As yet, there's been no consolidation of the clan.
Martha, it's been ages since we've done anything like this, hasn't it, Gil?
All the time I've been saving words to tell you. Maggie, you're going to marry me or I'll beat you over the head with a baseball bat.
You should have done that years. Oh.
What's the matter?
Look over there.
That's Dale, isn't it? Put on a lot of weight, huh? Hey, he's with Gloria.
Do me a favor, Gil. Let's not even look at
him. Look at him, Gloria. Maggie and the Goop. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they go in Dutch Treat.
You knew they were going to be here.
Yeah.
You just can't bear to have Maggie out of your sight.
Yeah, I'm just curious, that's all.
I don't know why I put up with you.
Because we are pals.
I've got news for you, chum. I'll be practically anything except a pal. Come on, let's go somewhere else.
One dance and then we leave, huh? One dance?
Okay. One dance and then we leave.
Well. And what are you doing here, Mr. Haggerty?
Hello, Mr. Williams. I hope you don't think that I've been following anybody.
Why, no. Well, nothing's happened yet.
I simply don't know what